Okay, ladies and germs, it's time for the afternoon Talks and Box. What's goody old dirty? You already know. Just a few subjects I want to touch on very quickly. Because there are the next episode of the relay is about certain subjects, so I don't want to broach them here on this live until after I upload that episode. That'll be uploaded shortly after this live is over. I don't want this one to run on too long. Hopefully it doesn't. The whole Ryan Garcia, I was goody XM was goody old dirty. The whole Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis thing. Luis Puente, que lo que maning? That whole fiasco. It's just Timmy Nealon, High King was good. Michael Jazz was good. Yeah. Get the shining. And that whole thing, one of the main elements of it that make it a bubble. G Funky. Also, I want to remind you guys that I will be joining the round table later on today. The greatest minds in Toxingbook will coalesce and converge in one space. Shout out to D Styles. Shout out to the Maestro. Shout out to Michael Monterio boxing. Shout out to who else is going to be on there? It's going to be D Styles, Michael Monterio. Who else? I think Ohio Runs Boxing going to be on the joint. For those that don't know, I will post the link in the community tab for later on today. We're going to be doing a round table. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that's going on. Just a heads up. What's goody, Mr. D-Loke in the building, Ralph in the building, Juan in the building, Beats in the building, Smokey in the building. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We're going to get it going. And yeah, the whole Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis thing, they're trying very hard to get that same old dynamic going that you say this and I say that, and we just do this for months and months on end. And the whole time we fight in substitute fights and alternative fights that are really just alternatives to each other. It's boring and it's played. And I don't know how much success they're going to have with that for what it's worth. Garcia versus Davis is a commercially viable fight. It is. I think that fight could do very well at the box office, very well at the gate. Though the time frame, realistically, when does a fight like that get over the line? Because you see what they're both saying. I talked about it here on the channel. Oscar is vehement that the zone has to be involved. Naturally, he's going to say that because that's his broadcast partner. And, Floyd, he just wants everybody to bend over for Gervonta Davis as if Gervonta is giving out career-high purses and career-high paydays when he's not. You're not giving Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz life-altering money. You're really not as big a cash cow as you're made out to be. But you let Floyd tell it, yeah, Gervonta's the A-side to everybody for paying what? $500,000 to Isaac Cruz, $500,000 to Rolly Romero. Devin Haney's opponents got paid more than that. So I mean, what are we really talking about? Look at the purses for the Jojo Diaz fight. Look at the purses for the Jorge Linares fight. Look at the purses for Devin Haney's opponents so far. His opponents got more money than Gervonta Davis's opponents, and it's always this stupid game of, yeah, you're the ace, yeah. And my whole thing is simple. The whole time y'all doing that bullshit and you putting on them pay-per-views, you ain't gonna get none of my money. Not till you fight somebody that I want to see you fight. Because the difference between you and everyone else is you're telling people that the fights that you're in should come with an $80 price point attached. That's the difference between you and Devin, you and Ryan, you and Teofimo, you and anybody else. You think that I should have to pay $80 to watch you fight Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero. That's not happening, champ. It got to be a better fight than that for you to get at my money. Jack Nuff was good. Emma was good. Yeah, and Tank might go to jail. There's a lot of people still talking about that he has that whole vehicular situation where he crashed into those people with an SUV and then fled the scene. Who knows if they're going to work that out? They worked out Jermall Charlo's situation. They worked out a lot of Adrian Broner's situation, legal woes that they made them go away. But who really knows? This is a step up from grabbing a girl's ass at the mall the way that Broner did. This is a step up from dining and dashing the way that Jermall Charlo did. This really is a step up from that. So Eubanks versus Tommy for the welterweight. You know what I mean? You guys saw Chris Eubank Jr. said he wants... Yeah, I saw that dumb shit, bro. As if Chris Eubank Jr. is the gateway to a Canelo fight. That's what I mean. That guy's just a waste of time, bro. He's a waste of space. Like there are fights there that are for him, and the reality of it is, people complicate and convolute things when it's not complicated. You're a middleweight, and there are fights there at middleweight for you, and there have been fights there for you. A Demetrius Andrade fight was there for you if you wanted it. Right now, there's a Yanni Bekalim Kanuli fight there that if you wanted it, they could make it happen because Sky Sports is Top Rank's UK broadcast partner, so they can bridge the gap. The umbrella, you're under that umbrella, or you have been, and it exists. And what you want to do is fight a welterweight because of who his father is. It's shameless, bro. It's fucking disgraceful. Who you got, Black? Man, listen, man. They both suck, to be honest with you. I suppose Blair should get a slight advantage because he's a welterweight and Rolly isn't. They both got knocked out in their last fights. I kind of feel like they were both brain damaged already before they got knocked out, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody thinks they're a star now, and that's why a lot of things don't happen, which is why I show a lot of appreciation to fighters like, say, Chris Billum-Smith, because he's about to have a very nice fight, very interesting fight with Isaac Chamberlain. He already had 2 good fights with what's-his-face, with the other guy. Those were 2 very good fights. Got a highlight reel knockout out of it. And I like the UK domestic boxing scene because a lot of guys, they fight, bro. Anthony Fowler, Liam Smith, Chris Billum-Smith versus motherfucking Isaac Chamberlain. They get it on, bro. At the end of the day, I'm a boxing fan. I'm not here to make excuses for your business strategy or worry about what profit margin you are or aren't making. That's not my job. I don't care about that. Ultimately, you're either putting on content that I want to consume or you're not. You know what I mean? I think Rolly Smith and it's a very good fight, bro. That's a very good fight. Isaac Chamberlain, I think he only ever lost to Lawrence Okoli, reigning WBO cruiserweight champion, and I don't think there's any shame in that. That's a good fight. And it's good fights like that they make up for what doesn't happen, at least for me. They make up for what doesn't happen in the American boxing scene, because whenever Americans are involved, there's always a fucking problem. There's always a problem. Ryan and Devin, Ryan and Tank, Spence and Crawford. There's always a fucking problem. Andrade and Charlo. There's always a fucking problem. It's literally always a problem. Nobody want to deal with that shit. If you just trying to see a good fight with some good ass fighters, motherfucker really don't want to have to sit there arguing about why it's not happening, which is why over time I came to appreciate the United Kingdom and its boxers. These are not boxers that run from Donnybrook. These are fighters who wish to fight. You know what I mean? Look at my man Liam Smith, man. I fucks with that dude. I don't care what nobody say. My man George Clooney. This dude went to Russia looking for the problems. You know what I'm saying? Came back to America looking for more problems. Knocked out Jesse Vargas. Now he over there at Sky, about to get that Sky money. I fuck with that dude. He fought Canelo. He fought Munguia. He fought Kurbanov. He fought Fowler. Fucking fought Jesse Vargas. Jesse Verga. All right? Nobody got time to be sitting here arguing, well, the deal, well, the person. Like, man, you know, man, what the fuck? Punch, perf, boxing with the perfect punches. Michael McKinson, a prime example. You have a guy in Michael McKinson, not a big puncher, not even really a highly touted guy, but he's willing to put his O on the line against Virgil Ortiz. He's willing to do it. And I don't think that gets appreciated enough. They're like, yo, dog, at the end of the day, you know, all the business shit, yeah, we talk about the business shit, but you got to take your hat off to the motherfuckers that's willing to go out there and get it on. He could fucking sit in the UK protecting his O, fighting domestic level guys. He could do that same shit that the Americans do. Or he could bite the bullet and say, no, you know what? I'm going to go out here and I'm going to see what happens. Fuck it. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to see if I can't box this dude's socks off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's motherfuckers get sick of that bullshit. Espinoza admitted PBC owns the fighters and blocks the fights. He said to Canobio, everyone has spent years trying to go around the PBC to get PBC fighters in the ring. Now they have to go through the PBC. And yeah, and he's acting like those fighters that he's talking about aren't fighters that floated to another network. The reason that they tried to get those fighters is because they saw where Spence was fighting on Showtime, he floated over to Fox. So did both the Charlo brothers. So did Caleb Plant. So did Keith Thurman. So did Yordenis Ugas. So, of course, they thought to themselves, well, you know, Fox and Showtime, they're not the same network. So if these fighters have the autonomy to float to another network, let's offer them some money and see if they can't come over here. That's all it was. But his little butthole still clenched over there. He's still mad about that. So what's better? Keeping them inactive, fighting or fighting in fights that don't nobody want to see? Because that's what Showtime be doing for most of these guys. I can't stress enough that Jermell Charlo has a career best win over Brian Castano. A very entertaining fight. Put the cherry on top with the knockout. Did great viewership for the fight. Almost 1 million views for the Showtime network. And what do? You shelf him until January. Tim wanted to do the fight in October. A lot of people talk about an injury that Tim Tszyu had. And yeah, he has to recuperate. But Tim was pushing for the fight to happen in October later on this year. What y'all want to do is sit Charlo on the shelf till next year. Yeah, that'll build his momentum. Good idea. Put on an exhilarating fight, and then we don't see the guy till next year. Top-notch shit, bro. PBC days are numbered. COVID has killed their one fight. Yeah, I mean, Espinoza is acting like a boxing promoter and not a TV network executive who should get all fights available for the betterment of the network subscribers and PBC's benefit. Yeah, man, the whole shit gets tired, bro. How many conversations in the last 4 years have we had, just like this one, that we find ourselves more often than not focusing on the fights that aren't happening because there's so many of them? You know, Spence and Crawford still isn't official. I believe that the fight will happen, but this is a prime example. Crawford has been a network and promotional free agent as of last year in October, right? So that's November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. We're in July. 8 months later, you still haven't done this fucking thing already. Still? Shout out to Steven Munoz. De lo mío, que lo que, manín? Your boy Ness straight bugging. Do flip-flops more than pancakes. Salute to you for keeping the same energy. Appreciate that. I don't know what Ness is. I don't know because I stay in my own lane a lot. Shout out to Ness. You know, I got nothing against him and his hustle because he be grinding. I don't really know what he flip-flopped on, though, to be real with you. I don't know. If he flip-flopped, I don't know what it was about. WBA starting to see there's long money with Hearn. Well, it's not that they're starting to see that. It's that they're under pressure. I said it in the videos that I uploaded that don't you notice that all these mandates and all these orders that are finally coming down the pipeline, they're coming down the pipeline at a time when they're under the microscope, or the microscope. You know what I mean? Shout out to Leonardo. Where does Wood versus Cruz make more money? UK. That's easy. It's an illusion that Leo Santa Cruz is a popular guy. He's not a popular guy. You know, that's like an illusion. Like, bro, who really be hyped to watch Leo? Who? What fights, bro? When's the last time, like outside of Gervonta Davis fans who want to act like that was some major fucking fight, bro, people don't be hyped to see Leo. So I would guess that Wood versus Santa Cruz makes more money in the UK because the UK fans is going to show up to support Lee Wood and the novelty of having a PBC fighter coming over to their side. I would think that fight does better business. And we'll see if the fight happens. Wood versus Cruz. So yeah, I agree. I was goody, bro. What's goody, Malachi? And yeah, man, it's just too much bullshit, bro. Like 8 months after Crawford becomes a network and promotional free agent, several months after Demetrius Andrade becomes a network and promotional free agent, the opportunities are there, have been there, and it's always the same bullshit. And that's why I can't go on Twitter, for example, and have full-scale debates with people that don't want to know better. Like, bro, you just want to be in denial about every fucking thing because you think that denial is a rebuttal when it's obvious what's going on. You got money to offer Jaime Munguia, but you don't have money for Demetrius Andrade. You have $100 million to offer Canelo Alvarez, but you're dragging your feet with Crawford versus Spence. It's obvious, fam. It's fucking obvious. Yeah, Devin Haney was a network and promotional free agent. What the fuck did Showtime do to bring him over? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Yeah, George Kambosos, after he beat Teofimo Lopez, that fight. Lou DiBella wanted to put him in there with Gervonta Davis. That was the first fight that Lou DiBella came out talking about, that he felt that was a big fight. And what did Showtime and Mayweather Promotions do to make that fight? Absolutely nothing. That's what. Nothing. So it's like, come on, man. If y'all motherfuckers want to keep being stupid then, man. Just don't bother me with that shit. Too many stupid motherfuckers, man. Bro, Gary already had his fight, bro. Gary had his fight for the rest of the year. We not going to see him if we see him till next year, bro. It's a wrap, bro. You know what I mean? I'm going to post a link in the joint. And once again, man, y'all got to stop trying to talk over each other, man. Can't have 3-4 people trying to talk at the same time. I get a lot of complaints about that shit. Gary loses the title to Mixayo. Eson brought it up yesterday. Perfect example. You had Gary Russell Jr., who reigned as a champion parallel to Leo Santa Cruz for several years. Leo still has his title today. Gary does not. And they never put the emphasis on Russell versus Santa Cruz that they were about to put on Leo Santa Cruz versus Ray Vargas. Don't you see that he petitioned the WBA? He petitioned them for an exemption to the mandatory. Why didn't that happen when Gary Russell had the belt? I know why. It's obvious why. It's fucking obvious. But people rather make excuses because they choose to believe that the PBC is something more than just a boxing outfit and not even a really good one. It's kind of obvious. Gary Russell Jr. probably...
Yo.
Yeah, let me read. Gary Russell Jr.
Twitter space.
He's like,
do some shopping.
Yeah. Gary Russell Jr. probably won't come back. I know that. Like he might not. He might retire off of that because I never felt that Gary had the love for the sport. These guys like Gary that like to complain because he was complaining. He wore a robe calling out Al Heyman. I didn't forget that. He was complaining that he felt that the network and Al Heyman, they didn't want him to fight Leo Santa Cruz. Well, for all the belly aching, what are you doing about it? You're another Broner. You periodically bellyache about your situation, but when Eddie Hearn offered you $1 million for Josh Warrington, you turned it down. Eddie Hearn offered Conor Benn. What happened to that? So stop crying about it because it's either you're choosing to be there or you don't have the autonomy to leave. In any event, doesn't look like it's your decision to make. Shit is silly, man.
Julius?
Go ahead, Leo.
Do you have the impression that Adrian Broner owes money to other people besides Al Heyman? I mean, Al Heyman have his money, but for the way he mumbles about give me my money, Al Heyman doesn't give a shit about me. Give me it's more than is short on cash. It's like he needs the money now. I don't know for what precisely, but for the kind of people he goes to go around, will not surprise me. He owes money to people that needs to pay now.
I think that's an interesting angle because I noticed that there was a proliferation of debt between several fighters. Jermall Charlo's card was declined around the same time that Gervonta Davis was said to have owed a car dealership $20,000 to $40,000. I believe it was $40,000. At the same time, you had Adrian Broner saying that Al Heyman needs to give him all his money. And why would Al, you know, when you say something like that, it's like, well, why would he need to give you all your money? You don't have all your money. Then how is he paying you? So I feel like it's a pimp setup. You know how pimp do the hoes on the track, pay the bills, put the clothes on him. And I feel like at that time, Al was lacking because they were likely trying to get the money for the Canelo Alvarez fight, because there has to be a reason that Jermall Charlo, his card gets declined. Gervonta Davis owes a car dealership $40,000. Adrian Broner is taking to social media saying, give me my money. All of that was happening within the same time frame. So there has to be a reason for that.
Jules, correct me if I'm wrong. Who are the fighters that used Al as an advisor and not a manager? And aren't those the only ones that were able to take fights elsewhere and do what they want to do? And
yeah, I mean, we know who those fighters
like
were.
Mikey,
Mikey,
Julio, Danny Jacobs. Wasn't Amir Khan over there or no?
Yeah, for a second he was over there for a second, but it's like you can see who has autonomy and who doesn't. You could see that Danny Jacobs had autonomy. He jumped ship early. Artur Beterbiev jumped ship early. Most people don't remember that Artur Beterbiev was at the PBC for a while, and he was very unhappy there. His issue, this was at a time when Yvonne Michel, who also promoted Adonis Stevenson, for those that remember, right? Yvonne Michel was working with the PBC. At that time, Artur Beterbiev was with Yvonne Michel. And Artur wanted to get away from Yvonne Michel because he said, I wanted to fight 4 times a year, and you didn't deliver that. That's why he ended up leaving. That's why he, and it's weird because you ended up leaving, but you were still inactive. Better still, his issue was he wasn't getting enough fight dates. A lot of the fighters that jumped ship, if you notice, Hugo Centeno said something similar to Pheno Boxing, that like, yo, why'd you leave? And it's like, well, I wasn't active enough. I felt that I would have done better if I would have been more active. So that's like a recurring theme. And then you see Adrian Broner in 2022 echoing that sentiment to Brian Custer, that, oh, why does my fight date keep getting pushed back? Whoever heard of a 6-month camp? It's the same thing. Then you look at Jermall Charlo. Okay, you had a great fight earlier this year. It was a great fight, and you're not coming back till 2023? Type of shit is that? It's kind of obvious who has autonomy and who doesn't. Now, we got a couple of new panelists that I'm not familiar with. Alfred Young. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah, I've been on the show before. Remember, I was the one that told you my dad taught special ed, what he said about Rolly Romero.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I love the show, man. I watch the show all the time. But I'm wondering if PBC, because the company is making.
Alfred, if you could go to Alfred, your signal's coming in choppy. I need you to move closer to your Wi-Fi signal because the signal's coming in choppy.
Okay.
All right, I can hear you now. I can hear you clear. Go ahead.
You hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, the company is making the most money, so they're trying to keep the fighters, I guess if they have an O, they're a little marketable. That way they can make the most money off of them and pay the fighters less. I mean, other than that, that's the only thing I can think of, because either that or the fighters have gotten used to just making, easy money fighting nobodies.
That, and it's kind of like, I think that it's not that they're making money, it's that they're not making money. So they're spread a little bit thin is what I see. I see that they're spread thin, that they have other things perhaps that they want to reserve their resources for, like Wilder's return, Spence versus Crawford, and they had to pull in a lot of resources to get Canelo to go over there. They were prepared to even put up even more resources, and what I see is they're spreading themselves thin. The recurring theme that I've seen is they can't accommodate these guys for whatever reason. Even though they have 2 network broadcast partners, they don't seem to be able to accommodate everybody more than once a year. It looks that way. Like, who knows if Keith Thurman is going to have another fight this year? Why did Danny Garcia not fight at all last year? You fought Spence at the end of 2020. You could have at least came back at the end of 2021. No, you sat out the whole year. Why did Keith Thurman periodically take 2-year stints of inactivity? There's 2 of them in his fucking record. That's 4 years you wasn't doing shit. 4 years when you put it together. That's a lot for a boxer. That's a lot.
PBC fighters stay injured.
But Julius, the amount of money that Keith Thurman asked for those fights,
True.
10 million, 20 million. Like I guess he accepted to fight Mario Vargas because it was an easy fight.
Yeah.
Mario Vargas wasn't tested at welterweight. I guess that's the reason he came back for that fight, because put Keith Thurman against any other top welterweight in his comeback, he doesn't take the fight, I think.
I agree. I mean, if we're talking about a Stanionis or a Butaev, or certainly not a Jaron Boots Ennis, he wouldn't park next to that guy. Of course, he's not going to take a fight like that for anything short of a couple of million. But for a guy who just got knocked out at 140 by a 135-pounder, it's safe enough that he'll do it. You know, it's a safe enough, negotiable enough situation. But this is what I mean.
My point is, Keith Thurman.
Go ahead.
Did we lose Leo?
I think we lost Leo. Leo, go ahead.
I just tagged you. Yeah, I think we lost. Hey, Jules, what you were talking about.
Well, yeah, I just see a situation. It's like Leo said, though. Of course he gonna come back against a Mario Barrios. Like, bro, it's this dude literally just got knocked out at 40 by a 35er. So yeah, of course he gonna take that.
I just tagged you in something on Twitter, Jules. It was an old Coppinger from Sources. When they did that deal with Fox in 2018, they made this whole hoopla of like, well, now, damn, PBC has over $125 million in budget every year. And look how fast that went to Bolivian. And now I refuse to believe. And now that their Fox is all pay-per-view, I don't believe Showtime's giving them no $65 million a year based on what the fuck they're giving us.
Yeah, I mean, these are not. Look at this fight, Broner versus Figueroa, bro. Come on, man. Like, who really want to see this shit?
Between the operational costs, Jules. I mean, look at the schedule now, Jules. We're in close to damn near August. Over half.
Bro,
do you think they spent $30 million on fights?
I mean, think about it. Garcia versus Benavidez, Broner versus Figueroa. You know, they may be reallocating resources to help promote Jake Paul fights because they announced the schedule and he was in there. You know, Jake Paul might fuck around be making them more money than the guys they got.
And then if you go to that article, Jules, and we're in 2022 now, it's 4 years now. Can we surmise that the higher ups at CBS have reduced Showtime's sports budget?
I think so. You have to turn over a goddamn profit at some point to keep giving them money.
They're not increasing the subscriber base, and the ratings have gone consistently down each year since the Maypac pay-per-view. But it's good for the sport of boxing because they made $1 billion.
Well, that's only in circles. If you just look at this as Joe Blow and forget the boxing fan and the boxing fan narrative and just many things that we often talk about, if you just look at this with a fresh set of eyes, it's a bust. Now, we got another panelist, Jason L. Jason L., what do you think about it?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you sound a little low.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if my mic's absolute garbage. I may have to bounce on you. Sorry about that. So I think that, yeah, they clearly don't have any money. I mean, why else would they have Jermell not fighting until next year? Like you said, when he had that big fight, he's got all this hype around him, and now it's like, oh, we're just gonna have one of our biggest stars, quote unquote, just sit around doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I couldn't have put it's. You know, Drew used to work in television. Drew knows how this works. If you get a guy that puts up the best viewing figures all year for you, right? Because that's literally what Jermell just did. Why would you shelf him for the rest of the year? That doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. You would, and even if you couldn't get him a fight, you would still have him affiliated with the network somehow at the public events. Take, for example, people hated on Triple G's promotion, but HBO and the team was smart enough, like, okay, we can't get you a fight right now, but you're at the Game of Thrones season premiere. You're at this, you're at that. Your face
Well, that's
is
the
there
other
with
thing,
the
Drew.
other stars.
That's the other thing, that Tim wanted to do the fight in October. So we know that it wasn't because the fight, it's not because the other guy wasn't available or because they couldn't find you a fight. The fight is there, but for some reason, they want to save it till January. And what happens in January? You get a new budget. Isn't that what happens at the end of January? Ain't that
what I said, too.
It's kind of obvious that they must really be thin, and they must be reallocating all their resources to help make the Crawford versus Spence fight. That's what it looked like.
That,
All
and
they
if
have to do is-
if Andy Ruiz wins, they're gonna have to guarantee Andy 10 and maybe Wilder 15.
Oh God!
Well,
Don't put that evil on us.
You say that, but that's just, and those are conservative numbers.
Well, that's also if Showtime does the fight, because what we're talking about now is the Showtime budget, you see? Isn't Fox carrying the Ruiz versus Ortiz? No, actually, that is Showtime. That's Showtime. Shit. Let me read some of these super chats. Honest question, is Al really in control at the PBC? I'm going to tell you something, Lewis. I think he was, but I think there's a power shift, and I think that the power is shifting over to the network that gives him a budget. What leverage does he have to ask the network for more money? What? Errol Spence, who's in his 30s? Crawford, who you don't have under contract? Semi-quasi-retired Wilder? What do you got? What is your leverage for Stefan Espinoza to go to his higher-ups and say, hey, we need to spend more money on boxing?
And then why does Top Ranking ESPN? Where's our Keyshawn Davis? Where's our Shakur Stevenson? Where's our Devin Haney? Where's our Tiafimo? Where's our Jared? Where's the young guys that are going to keep Showtime boxing afloat?
Yeah, they only have Frank
I know
Martin.
they're
That's
asking
it.
And he's not an Olympian. If you're Bob Arum or you're Carl Moretti or you're Todd Duboff, you can always go and say, look, we got a guy who came very close to winning the gold. That's what we got. We got some really good amateurs, some really good guys that we want to spend some money on. And the argument is there. But when you talk about a Rayo and a Frank Martin, what the fuck are we talking about?
Isn't Ennis Boots with PBC, or is he with some other outfit?
No, that's the funny thing. Most people don't realize he's actually not with the PBC, but he is with Showtime. So he makes appearances on PBC cards, even though he's not a PBC fighter.
Oh, more of that PBC great prospect development.
Yeah, well, honestly, I put Jaron Boots Ennis' situation on Showtime more than PBC, because if you do business with PBC and you're invested in the welterweight division, you should be able to go to Al and tell him, listen, bro, you have to give me one of your guys. I'm developing this fighter. I'm invested in this fighter, and I need one of your guys to feed to him, preferably Keith Thurman. That makes the most sense. Ennis is in a place where he should be fighting a former champion now. Thurman only has one loss. What is the holdup? If you want him to cross over, this is what you got to do, because Clayton, that was a good win, but only a degenerate boxing fan like me is going to know the value of that. In the greater scheme of things, he has no casual appeal. People in the street ain't talking about him.
And because look where they're picking him fight. There's no business. I love Boots, but there is no business why he was fighting in LA that day when he should be on the East Coast.
Nope. And really, the East Coast, the other thing is that the East Coast is not the fight coast anymore. Everybody knows that a lot of American talent is based out of the West now. Coachella, Oxnard, Wild Card, the Summit, Texas.
And even if you get guys from out there, they come out here to train because this is where all the gyms are. There's the majority of the gyms are here. You still got your gyms in Detroit, over there in D.C., Maryland, and Philly.
Yeah, a couple spots.
The day-to-day culture. Like most of the club fights out here, the culture of boxing is here thriving still because the day-to-day functioning is out here in Vegas.
Let me read the super chat. Showtime's biggest fight of the year so far is a Jake Paul fight. Yet Espinoza wants to slander Eddie. Yeah, it's just fucking comedy, bro. Luis Puente says, I don't think PBC can afford all their fighters, and that's what I maintain, that I don't think they have it in the budget to accommodate all the fighters in their stable more than maybe once a year. Gary may not fight again this year. I don't know if Thurman's going to fight this year. I don't know if Jamal's going to fight at all. We know that Jamel isn't, you know. I don't know that they can accommodate these fighters more than just once a year, once at a time.
They got about like 2 more years, I'd say. Three more years.
Yeah, we knew Gary was going to fight, so.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob Sims says, see how PBC is moving the chess pieces to set up Jamal's first unification against old-ass Lara? I do think Prime Lara would have beat him, but not now. I do agree with that. They've positioned Lara to pick up the WBA title as soon as it goes vacant, and then maybe they have, you know, Jamal fight that guy. But it's like, bro, y'all had Lara and Jamal at 2 weights this whole time. You're going to do this fucking shit now when it's not worth anything? It's not like he's winning the title from Gennady, you know? It's not like he has a buzz. Lara has no buzz. If you thought it was bad before, look at now. Who the fuck be checking for Lara fights, bro? Greg Vendetti? Cornflake Ivana?
Okay, Julius, but let's say Golovkin made it to the Lara fight in good condition. How much money Golovkin gets for that Lara fight? Because I assume that fight is going to be on the zone.
Nah, I mean, you're talking about a real draw, right? And what the PBC has shown is that they will pull in whatever resources they have to get real draws, like Canelo, who they offered $100 million after already guaranteeing him $40 million, right? You see that they just made an attempt for Jaime Munguia because they know Chicano fans in this era, they move the needle. So if you could get a Chicano fighter like a Jaime Munguia, put him in there with a Charlo, you can make some money. So what they've shown is that if we're talking about real draws, not fake ones, real draws like a Golovkin, they'll find the money. They'll find it. Because what do you got to offer him? 20 million? Not 40. You don't have to pay him the way you pay Canelo. You can offer him 40. But what I see is that why would Golovkin go to Showtime when he could make that or more with Munguia on DAZN? Talking about a scenario where he loses to Canelo at super middleweight, but he decides not to retire. Well, you have options. You can voluntarily defend the IBF title after you drop the WBA because you'd have to if you don't fight Lara. You can voluntarily defend the IBF against Jaime Munguia. Pay-per-view. Easy. And you think the Munguia fans wouldn't buy that? They would. They would. I don't think it does 1 million, but I think it does 3, maybe 4. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on with Josh Warrington? Like, what's he doing?
Well, the last communication from Josh Warrington is he was looking at either Leo Santa Cruz or Lee Wood. So he's kind of in limbo. He's talking about coming back in the fall. And if things don't work out with Lee Wood and Leo Santa Cruz, you can guess that, okay, well, maybe he gets Lee Wood because that fight is worth something in the UK. They could do that in the UK, and it's worth some money.
Why did they strip Lara again?
Well, they didn't strip Lara. Lara never won the belt. Remember, this is what they wanted. Let me walk you through this because it's convoluted. What Eddie Hearn wanted was for Kansu to be elevated to full champion because Leo wasn't even at featherweight anymore. And the IBF told him no. Josh has to fight his mandatory, which was Kid Galahad. So Josh vacated the title. Kid Galahad got the red belt. And Josh decided to fight Mauricio Lara in 2020, I believe it was. And we saw what happened. He got the shit beat out of him. But that was just a regular old fight. No title. Nothing. So, Kid Galahad wins the IBF. I believe it was against Jazz Dickens. And then he goes on to defend it against Kiko Martinez, loses it to Kiko, who then loses it to Josh.
Nice.
Nice. You know what I mean?
Where is Lara? I want to see that little dude, bro.
I like that dude, man, but I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Maybe he'll fight on Estrada's undercard because what Estrada plans on doing is vacating the WBA. Josh Franco is going to get it. Estrada wants to have a tune-up fight this summer and cap off the year with Choco. That's the last thing I saw. So
I
maybe
saw Lara's IG. He's training. It looks like so.
Yeah.
I hope he gets a fight.
So maybe they have Lara fight on Estrada's undercard.
You know what's gonna be? You know what would be a fucking amazing fight? Lara and Navarrete, bro.
Oh my God, people
Oh
would
my
die.
god.
People would die.
Somebody
Navarrete
would die.
hard with him a while ago. He said that Lara was the hardest puncher he ever faced. So that's a bloodbath waiting to happen. I'm all for it.
What I would love as a Mexican, even though I'm not Mexican, is for Emmanuel Navarrete to clean house at 126 pounds, because I don't think anybody beats that man. He's a special fighter, gets special haircuts. He's the cowboy, goddammit. And I don't think Ray Vargas, I don't think Leo Santa Cruz, I don't think Josh Warrington, none of them stand a chance. The only guy that I actually think stands a chance is Mauricio Lara, because he has the power.
I would say so, yeah.
He has
The other
power.
guys are too small. They're too small.
Well, that and they don't hit hard enough. Ray
They
Vargas
don't.
isn't a power puncher. He's a good boxer, but he's not a power guy. And the only reason the Mixayo fight was entertaining is really because of Mixayo and how limited he is. Not because Mixayo, like, he pisses me off.
He pissed me off too.
He's like a, and I don't want to shit on him, because he has potential, but it's like he's like a diet Pacquiao that you don't throw as many. He punches as many. He'll get something going and then stop throwing. Like, bro, what's wrong with you, bro? Throw. Keep throwing. And it's really just the 1-2, the 1-2. It's like, bro, like, you don't got an uppercut, left hook, right hook, nothing. You're looping, chopping, nothing. Like, shit, yo. He's like throwing punches on a budget. Like, the fuck, bro? But yeah, man, featherweight is fucked, bro. They're gonna freeze out, my man. They're not gonna let El Vaquero come to the party, bro.
They're not.
They're not. They know what time it is, bro. It's Vaquero time, bro. But as a Mexican national, what I would love is for Vaquero to clean house. If I could make like a wave of magic boxing wand, that would be one of the first things I decree. Like, yo, let Vaquero fight all these motherfuckers, because I promise you, he beats all these motherfuckers.
No, for me, it'd be just reset all of 160.
There's nobody there, bro. There's nobody there.
Other than Yanni Beck.
Yeah, there's nobody there.
There's nobody there. Like, if you think about what's coming through, what the fuck is coming through? Esquiva Falcao? Michael Zarafa? That division is shit, bro. Like,
it's going to even get more shit. Imagine how shit it'd get if Jermell moves up there, all these PBC guys move up there and they do the once-a-year thing.
It's going to be shit, bro.
160 used to be more of a glamour division than welterweight all through the
Honestly,
the 19th and 20th century. It was middleweight, it was heavyweight, then middleweight.
Yeah, historically, it's one of the glamour weights, but for the last, we could say like the last 3-4 years. Well, let's say every year. Yeah, every year after Canelo versus Golovkin, because middleweight was hot. When that was a thing, middleweight was hot. You know, that was the division that everybody was watching because they were waiting for Canelo versus Golovkin. But after they fought the second time, it went to doo-doo, bro. Ain't nobody outside of Yanni Beck.
It was good, Jules. We had Andy Lee, we had Chavez Jr., Quillen, Danny Jacobs, Triple G, Korobov.
When Jamal got the belt, that's when it really
a World Series, World Boxing Super Series at middleweight, like 6-7 years ago, would have been lit.
Yeah, agreed. But now the only guy that's coming through, you know, because you always got to look at who's coming through. They don't, outside of Yanni Beck and another Kazakh guy, lesser known guy, unbeaten guy. I think he's got like 17 fights, 19 fights, something like that. Outside of those two, I don't see shit, bro. I don't see shit. And I literally, before I started this live, I combed through the sanctioning bodies rank standings, all of them, all four. Outside of Yanni Beck, there's nothing, bro. There's nothing. That's it.
When did the middleweight division be worse than the super middleweight division?
Exactly, bro.
Because Jamal got a belt. That's why.
That is the truth. We wouldn't be saying this. We wouldn't be saying this if we were on the eve of Charlo versus Andre. But it's true what Michael's saying. When Charlo got a belt, that really, because think about it. You know, we're not going to get Munguia versus Charlo. Charlo doesn't want to fight Adames. Not that Adames is any good anyway. You got beat by Patrick fucking Teixeira, right? It's like, what the fuck is it middleweight, bro?
Speaking of sanctioning bodies, Jules, do you think the ABC is going to have the stones to de-recognize the WBA?
You know, I think
Is
that
anybody surprised?
someone's gonna
Is
get
anybody
paid,
fucking
right?
Surprised?
more like they're gonna ask for someone's head, because when you read through the documents, when you read through the story, certain officials were mentioned by name. So if you're the WBA in a last gasp to salvage your organization, somebody has to go. You got to give them
Boy,
something.
the homie Ricky's
They
here.
got to, because
Love that guy.
the worst thing would be the ABC, like, look, you're suspended for 5 years. We're not recognizing any of your champions. or
But do you
sanctioning
really,
America.
Drew? You really think they're going to do that though?
I think someone's going to get paid so they don't do that.
Like in other words, I said it.
And
I
just
said
be
it in
real,
my
Drew.
award-winning. I said it in my BBC expose yesterday. That you mean to tell me that this whole time Mike Paluzzi didn't know, Mike Mazzulli, he didn't know that the WBA is on the take? You're the ABC commission and you're just now realizing that they're on the take? No,
I hate to go there, but Maluzzi sounds like an Italian name. I refuse to believe that Gilberto is not going to send a white envelope to somebody over there at the WBA where Matuzzi gets his cut, and it's all
That's
goes
what
away
I'm saying.
like last year.
That in other words, what I see is more like, you know what they were doing. You've known the whole time, and you turned the other way, likely because you were paid. Because the mess wasn't a big mess. Outside of this small boxing bubble that we live in, who's really going to blow the whistle on the corruption? This isn't a mainstream sport. This isn't like sneaking plays from one team to the other in the NFL. That shit makes headlines, you know what I mean? Remember when that shit happened with the Jets? That I think the Jets had spies going over to look at what the other motherfuckers' plays was? That shit made headlines, all right?
That's headlines because people start suing bookies and all kinds of shit, and it has a domino effect.
Whereas with boxing, everybody in boxing knows that the WBA is corrupt, but it's going to take for you to create a big fucking mess for anybody to care. And the mess is that someone else, Cohen, said certain shit about certain people, and certain people started asking questions, and I was like, wait a minute, so the WBA is doing what? Now y'all gotta explain it. Because this came up in court.
I don't know why, but there's just this certain, well, I guess we do know because of mob involvement, but there's just a certain acceptance of corruption, but not so corrupt in boxing. And
yeah, I mean, that's how it is.
It was more so like, as long as it's covert, but the overt shit is, we're like, okay, somebody got to go.
Look, it's like when you're working a gig. You know, you can fuck off. You do a gig, you fuck off. But you don't fuck off to the point to where you're taking 3 and 4 hour lunch breaks, you know? You fuck off, you take an hour, you bang a joint, you come back, you know? You don't fuck off for 3-4 hours.
No, you split it up. You take your 30-minute shit break, you work for a couple hours, then you take another 30-minute shit break.
See, this is the shit. You see that? Like, you could take a fuck off 15 minutes to go blow down a bogey, come back, take another. You know, you break it up. You don't just fuck all the way off. And the WBA, it's like, yeah, y'all fucking all the way off. Like, y'all just mad. Look, Mauricio's literally doing the same thing that Gilberto's doing, but you never see Mauricio in hot water. You know why? Tell him, Drew.
Because Mauricio makes sure everybody gets a cut.
No, that's not why. Why is it that Mauricio is ahead of the curve? I don't think you know that Mauricio is. Come on, Capricorn.
No.
Oh my God!
I didn't know that.
damn it, Jules.
Yes.
Why do you know that? Why do you even know that?
I know all that can be known. It just comes into me in waves. I know all that can be known. It just takes time because I'm in this human body. But look, you don't see. Listen, Drew, you don't see Mauricio wrapped up. Even though we know that he's corrupt, we know it, but you don't see him. You know how they don't fuck with him.
You don't, and Mauricio has the benefit of being groomed by his father, Jose, who showed him the ropes on how to not get caught up in this shit.
And the other thing about Mauricio, is for the good, for the bad, there is also good. Because I've spoken to 1 or 2 fighters that speak very highly of him. That told me that the good things that he does, you don't always hear about. You don't always hear about them. How he helps fighters' families outside of just boxing and things like that. Whereas Gilberto, you just a greedy fuck. And you've been operating with impunity for too long. And you thought when you got to the point when you can stand there and say, well, we're going to make more belts because it's better. When you can say that with impunity, okay, you've been fucking off for too long. You think you're untouchable. And that wasn't that long ago. That was in 2018. You just think nobody can stop you. And, now you're getting too much heat on you. Too much heat. And the ABC, now they're going to pretend that they didn't know what you were doing. They're going to pretend like, oh, corruption. Oh, my God. We have to do something. And you're going to need somebody's head. Gloria Martinez Rizzo still has a job. How the fuck is that?
Right. And nobody cares. It'd be different if, what's the guy's name at ABC?
Mike Mazzulli.
If it'd be different if you had reporters every day at Mazzulli like, hey, Mazzulli, what's going on? As he walks into the office. Hey, Mazzulli, what's going on? As he takes his kids to school. As he goes to get his morning coffee. But nobody's going to be bugging him like that.
Nah, ain't nobody going to press him. Like, you think that, John Stossel or Barbara Walters or Dan Rather. Hey, Mike, what's going on with the shit? They get away with it because boxing is not a mainstream sport anymore. There's corruption, but who gives a fuck?
And it goes back to, we had that conversation a while ago. This old guard wants to keep boxing niche so they can keep doing this. Literally,
they don't want it to grow, because if it grows to be a mainstream sport, you're not going to be able to get away with this. If you had the coverage and the audience of the NFL or the NBA, you don't get away with this kind of shit, yo. These alphabet, you can't, bro. They'd be all over you like.
Even if they had the coverage in this country that the UFC does.
Well, nah, because Mike works with the UFC.
And the UFC has that. UFC, their books are more open because they're.
But also the UFC doesn't have to. The UFC doesn't have to do this, because even though it's a big corporation, it's unto itself. It's a biosphere. Everything is in-house. Everything is independent. Whereas in boxing, what you have is a lot of fragmented elements of the sport, and you need something to pull them together, which is the alphabets. I said this yesterday, that it's not that we don't need alphabet organizations. It's that they need to do their job. We actually do need alphabet organizations. We do need the sanctioning bodies, but they need to do their job, because the reason this stuff happens is because they're not doing their job. You got thousands upon thousands of fighters in America, thousands upon thousands of fighters in the UK and Europe and Germany and Australia, thousands of fighters, right? What's going to bring them together? The sanctioning bodies. So you need them for that pecking order. But if they're not doing your job, if they're not doing their job, that's when you begin to wonder, well, what the fuck do we need you for when the one thing you're here to do, you're not doing it?
What did you call it a while ago, Julius? Fire sale promoting?
Yeah, it's just like a fire sale, but I wouldn't correlate that to this. That's a little bit different. That's how promoters operate. That's how a lot of guys operate in terms of how they want to sell a fight and how they behave with marquee events. Whereas with this, it's more along the lines of, as long as you guys are doing your job, you justify your existence in the sport. But because you're not doing your job, people are starting to wonder, well, what the hell do we need you for? You're not even doing the one thing you're supposed to do.
Remember, what's it called? The franchise belt has no mandatories.
But now it does.
I changed my mind. Never mind. I changed my mind.
Franchise is sticking with you as you move up divisions. Oh wait, no, it's not.
And you gotta love how Mauricio double talks and makes it up on the fly. Like, he's gotten very good at that shit.
Well, I mean, like I said, like, he's not one of the good Capricorns. I have to admit that. He's not one of the good guys like I am. He's one of the bad guys, but he's a good bad guy in the sense that, hey, they don't fuck with him. They're all over Gilberto like a cheap suit, but they leave Mauricio alone.
Mauricio knows how to say so much, but not say nothing at the same time.
And he has charisma. The WBC title is a good title because I am morbidly obese.
Because it's green. Because it's green.
The double, and you know, because he
does
has swagger. Like Gilberto doesn't have swagger. Gilberto's the guy that you bring him to shag the joints, and he fuck it up because he too goddamn aggressive. Like, my God, chill, fam. We gonna get the drawers, but you got to chill. Like, too aggressive.
And Mauricio does the smart PR with the bridge rate and the boy that saved his sister. He knows when he needs to do something to get
He
a
knows
couple
how to play the
smiles.
game. He knows how to play the game. He's a Capricorn. He knows how to play the game. But let me read the super chat. Country says, Jules, I don't see how PBC can afford to stay in business this way. Like you said, what do they actually got? Nothing that I can see that draws. And, you know, I think what's keeping them afloat is Showtime renewing their budget annually. But outside of that, who else wants to invest in the PBC?
Yo, they literally have 3 more years. They're going to go broke. Thank God. I can't wait. All those fighters are going to go to Matchroom because Matchroom will probably offer the most money for most.
If they even have any fucking fighters.
I mean, yeah, they're all going to. Oh, like, Jules, do you even think their Showtime budget is still $65-70 million?
No.
Possibly.
I don't.
It's contingent upon certain things that haven't happened yet. For example, whether we like it or not, Deontay Wilder's ring return is commercially viable so long as operational costs are low. So let's say you guarantee this guy 10 mil, but the pay-per-view brings in 600,000 pay-per-view buys. That would justify you spending more money on boxing the following year. That would justify, like, yo, we put on a commercially viable fight this year. And if you think about Spence versus Crawford, same deal. If you don't spend much, but it makes good money, then you could go to your higher ups and say, hey, let me get some more money to invest in boxing because we got some good profits off this shit last year. But it all depends on how the fights do. It all depends on that. And we don't know if those fights are going to do well, to be honest. We don't even know if some of them are going to happen. Marco says, my boy Maravilla would gaucho all these fighters. Agreed. Maravilla de Argentina. It's my dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, yo. It's contingent upon a lot of things. It's not a guarantee that, in other words, if it takes 20-30 million to get Wilder out of retirement, well, now getting him out of retirement or whatever, now doing his fight is financially risky. But if you can keep the operational costs low, you hit the profit faster. It all depends on what does it cost to do these fights and what do these fights end up bringing in. And right now we don't know because they haven't happened yet. So it's a bitch. It's a bitch. Back to this Ryan and Javante shit. I'm going to go to Michael. Ryan Garcia. Michael, when does that fight happen, bro?
2025. Nah, I'm kidding. Honestly, maybe at the end of next year.
Probably. It'll probably take 2 years. A sporting icon says, is someone using an electric toothbrush on the panel?
Yeah, I hear that shit. I don't know what's going on. Vibrator.
Steven Munoz says, Jaime Munguia, Montana Love, Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz, Bronco Lara, Connor Ben, Diego Pacheco, Ryan Garcia, and William Zapata, all under 20. Yeah, they got their future. They got their next wave of guys. They do. And the other thing is that, you know, I say it all the time, but I don't think it registers with people that if you're playing the long game with Javante and Ryan, that favors Ryan because he's young. And he needs that time to develop. That doesn't favor Javante. By the time they fight, he fuck around be 30.
And Javante's not getting better. Yo, Javante's always talking about money and shit, but like, you know, like if he went to match him, they'd be paying him double whatever Floyd's paying him.
Of course, but he's a bozo and he's not in charge. He's a bozo, fam.
He's a dog on a leash. Like he's literally.
He is though. And when I was talking to Steve Kim, me, Drew, a couple of others, we was talking to Steve Kim yesterday, and Steve raised the point that Gervonta Davis is an old 27 because of the sparring wars, that this guy always had wars, and while he may be 27 years old, he may be a hard 27 years old. And when you listen to him talk, that his speech is slurred. You know, I used to think that it's because his veneers are too big for his mouth. Now I'm not so sure.
No, honestly, I think that's just him. I think it's because he's stupid.
Could be because he's stupid.
Oh, well, they beat the CTE into him. But I love how Ring IQ always drops in a jab at somebody casually in every live.
I mean, yeah, because I mean,
The
shit,
veneers-
like
he didn't get
I
the
thought
veneers
his-
done in the DR.
I'm just saying, because he got the veneers. Like he posted that, he had. It ain't nothing wrong with getting veneers. Shit, I might get veneers, but it's that he slurred his speech, and he 27. I'm like, yo, why is his speech slurred?
No,
Is he-
honestly, I honestly think it's because he's stupid. I don't think that's because of the wars or whatever.
I mean, he could be stupid. That's a very valid. I mean, that's plausible. He is stupid.
He's slightly smarter than Rolly. Slightly. He's right above. He's not on the school bus, but you could almost put him there.
He's on top of the school bus. Like he's not
on
in.
top.
He's on top.
I just want someone to ask Rolly, have you ever been to Disneyland? And him say Disneyland, like Adam Sandler on Bulletproof.
He went with Tio. What are you talking
Disneyland.
Biff me, man. May I want to buy Apple fans. I'm like, bro, is this really what people are printing as news? Rolly wants to fight, like, and people really like did that like it's a story. Like, bro, Rolly not gonna fight Spence, bro. He not. He probably gonna fight Mario Barrios if he go to 47.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Nah, I'm not even gonna say could you imagine. This is a stupid conversation.
Yes, I can imagine because they put Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on a pay-per-view, so I can imagine.
No,
that
I'm saying
would be-
could you imagine Crawford and Rolly? Like, I'm not even. It's a dumb conversation. It's not. Even
Oh
worth
my
having.
god,
It's not even worth having, bro.
that's manslaughter, bro. That's
murder.
manslaughter.
That's legal. That's legal murder.
No shit, like, but Rolly is a welterweight as possible because look, they trying to move Broner down to 140. Good luck.
He's not even gonna make that weight. He's not. He's gonna.
I don't think he's gonna make it either.
He gonna blame Al Heyman for it too. Y'all saw that video right when he walked out. When the camera cut back to him and he's not even there in the chair, I spit out my water. I was laughing, bro. I was crying.
But see that's the goofy shit that I'm talking about. That you got like when you saw Danny Jacobs leave the PBC, right?
Yeah.
He didn't do the thing. Oh, I'm leaving. Fuck this shit. He just did his smooth Brooklyn shit and got up out of there. You know what I mean? Better beef. It was, you didn't hear a lot of the bullshit. Broner been leaving the PBC and threatening to leave for like 5 years, bro.
And yet he keeps coming back. It's almost like no one wants to work with him.
But
No, I don't think that. I don't think that no one wants to work for him. I think he wants to stay with Al so that he doesn't have to fight nobody too hard. Because if he goes to Matchroom will pay him, but then he'd have to fight, somebody good.
Yeah, I mean that's really the crux of it. That if he were to try to go to a Matchroom or a Top Rank, yeah, you'd get money, but you'd have to earn it. Whereas Al, he'll throw you a couple $100,000, maybe pay a couple of your bills for you to fight Omar Figueroa.
You guys both suck, so I'm not even gonna watch this fight. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro, I'm not watching that shit. Like, I'm dead ass. I'm not watching that shit. Like, I'm too fucking old to be up at 12 in the morning for Adrian Broner.
I might watch the highlights, depending if it comes up. If I'm bored, maybe.
Bro, what does a fight like that lead to, bro?
Nowhere.
Nothing.
Nowhere. Nothing. Like
What's that? 140 in the PBC?
It leads
Who's that?
to
140
AB.
in PBC?
It leads to AB complaining in 4 months that he's broke. He hasn't got another fight. Same
Oh my
old.
god, they have nobody. They have nobody at 140.
no, they have no. They got 3 guys. They got Subriel Matias, who Broner won't fight. Gary Antoine Russell, who Broner won't fight, and Frank Martin, who Broner won't fight.
No, Frank Martin's 130, 135 right now.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, all right. Well, they have Gary Antoine Russell. Oh, and the winner of Puello versus Bakakakakakakakaka for the WBA title. That fight is happening at the PBC. The WBA title is going to end up over there.
You know, they should have given that shot to Regis since he lost it to what's his name, Josh.
Well, the Regis's problem is that his people didn't get him in position to fight for that belt. He should be in position to fight for that belt. He signed with Prophylactic, right? They should have did
He's
something.
getting older, bro. It sucks because I really think he would clear out 140 right now.
I think he could beat 95% of the division.
What's the undercard like on the fucking Broner Figueroa thing? Is there anything worthwhile checking that?
Bro, I seriously, like, if there's no other boxing on that night, I'm gonna go nutting my wife because fuck this, bro. Like, it's late, bro, and it's Saturday. Fuck that shit, bro. Get us some chocolate ass. I ain't fucking gonna be sitting up here watching Broner. Fuck that bullshit. And then fucking oh right, they have Brandon Lee. Not to be associated with the Crow, but they have Brandon Lee. He's a good fighter. He's good.
He's only fought once this year, huh?
He's made his yearly appearance.
Yeah, he's a prospect.
This shit's ridiculous, yo. When you really look at it, like, yo, like you got these dudes under 27 years old fighting once a year.
They're wasting their best years. Like, I like Brandon Lee. Like, he's a fun fucking fighter to watch, but they're gonna fuck up his career like they are. Look at how many times Matchroom gets Pacheco out there. Castro. Every other fucking card you see that guy. Every other card you see Castro's wide ass mouth.
I see Castro every 3-4 months. Swear to God.
Bro, I just fucking saw him at Aldi. He's everywhere. They keep him busy. But you got a young guy, Brandon Lee. He's a fun fighter to watch, fan-friendly style. Probably won't fight again this year. Probably not. They're doing to him what they did to Tuksak Nyambiar ahead of the Gary Russell fight.
And same with Martin. They don't get him out enough. He fought Dudo last year, and he just fought this year.
Fucking Rashidi Ellis was on the non-televised portion of the card.
And what's crazy is Brandon Lee fought 3 times last year. He's only fought once this year, and the man's only 23.
And he fought on the Spence Ugas on the card, right?
The saving grace is that because he's 23, maybe between now and next year he could get the hell out of there because they're gonna fuck up his career. Lucky for him that he has time and he's young, but they don't know how to groom fighters over there, man. Like,
but you'd think these fighters would see that though.
No, their managers. What I believe is happening is that their managers, and I believe this is just me. I believe that their managers are given cash incentives to keep those fighters there. That's what I believe, because there's no other way to explain it. Why would you, as a manager of a fighter, want him in an environment like this? Well, you might if they're giving you cash incentives to keep him there, because this isn't the best deal. It may be the best deal for you, but not for your fighter. Why else would Luis Ortiz's own manager fuck up the Joshua fight?
And they don't even know how to market Brandon Lee. There's a large Korean community here in LA. His dad's Korean, his mama's Mexican.
Bro, he makes me proud. Yo, he has the best. He makes me proud to be Korean, and I'm Japanese.
You promote him over here. Get involved with the local Korean population here. Put the card on. It just makes no sense how they're handling him.
Look, the kid has it all. Like, and I'm not high on him. It's just from a marketing angle. He's a fan-friendly fighter, heavy puncher, young guy, so you could get a lot of years out of the guy. He has the best of both worlds in the sense that he's Korean and Mexican, so you can play that up to those two demographics to really round out a solid following. And they got the guy fighting once this year. Does he get back out there later on this year? It doesn't look like it, to be real with you.
They're broke, man. They're broke.
Makes me proud to be Korean, bro.
Yo, does what's his name? Does Andre take that fight or no?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean,
he can't complain about getting ducked and then he's ducking somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know,
Fighters
bro.
do that all the time, though.
I mean, because I feel like he might take it because there aren't offers pouring in. You did business with Matchroom. They can't do anything for you. Nobody really wants to see Saunders versus Andre, Ryder versus Andre. Yeah. Who want to see that shit?
I wouldn't have minded Saunders versus Andre.
That fight would have been. Listen, that shit would have been Bartholomew versus fucking Easter all over again, bro. Two pure boxers that are southpaws. That would have been a
boring fight. Klitschko and Tyson.
Bro, I'm just telling you that it's a good fight it was a good fight on paper, but I said it then that don't think this is going to be a shootout. Neither one of these guys shoot it out. Characteristically, they don't shoot it out. They pick their punches. It's going to be a lot of that for like 3-4 fucking rounds. Motherfucker going to punch and then get the fuck out of there. It ain't going to be no shootout. You know what I mean?
Save me a bunch on the cycle or whatever.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to take the fight, man. I don't know if he's going to take the fight, but at the same time, what you have to remember is the offers aren't pouring in. When I asked Samson Lukowicz a couple of weeks ago about the Benavidez fight, he fucking blew it off. Like, this not happening. When I asked him in the Twitter Spaces, in so many words, that's what he said. So okay, you haven't had any luck with Charlo. Your promoter Samson, David Benavidez is promoter. He doesn't want to do the Andre fight, so that kills all of that because those are the guys that you'd look to fight at the PBC, and none of those doors are open. So Yanni Beck is, Top Rank may be the only outfit offering you money. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna go pro bello? You still got to fight Yanni Beck. He's your mandatory. I don't know, man. That's a shit situation.
He's not getting any younger.
His dreads are getting longer. Nesta Gibbs said that shit. He said the only thing. Listen, that was the funniest shit that he said. I was on Instagram. He doing like clips, and he was like, "Yo, the only thing Andre did in the last 3 years was grow his dreads."
That's fucked up.
I was like, "Yo, that's fucked up, B." But that shit was wild funny, man. That shit had me in knots, bro. I was like, "Yo, that's fucked up, fam." Motherfuckers got jokes and shit, but it's not a good, Yanni Beck versus Andre actually has the potential to be a very fun fight to watch because Yanni Beck will push the pace. He will throw punches and bunches. He's going to try to force Andre to fight. So then Andre has to show the world, yo, I'm better than that. This dude can't have his way with me. You know what I mean? And it's a great fight, but I don't know if he's going to take it, man. I don't know.
All right, y'all. You have a good day. I got to run into this meeting.
All right, bet. Sell that cocaine, bro. And yeah, man, it's just this. I don't know what he's gonna do, and it's unfortunate because I think he would have beat Charlo, and I think Charlo knows that Andre would have beat him. That's why he don't want to do it.
Not too late for them to have a unification.
No, it is.
Been out for a year.
It is. It's too late because the order already came down for Yanni Beck. So, and Top Rank has a way with Top Rank is cool with the WBO. So if someone is pushing for this, it's Top Rank. And before you can do anything else now, you have to fight Yanni Beck, or you can give him your belt. You're gonna have to
move up to 160. Fight Caleb Plant. Where is that guy? Oh my god.
He's on Twitter talking about how he totally whooped Canelo's ass and, got in his punches. Him asking if this was a good fight wasn't him being a bitch. It was him being like, oh, yeah, I'm so tough. And, he's winning fights on Twitter. He
but you know what? I admire Caleb because here you have a guy from the country, kid from Tennessee, pulls a bad joint because Jordan Plant is fucking gorgeous.
She's fine.
She's fine, bro. Like that woman he married well. So hats off to him. He did what I literally.
He's winning at life.
Yeah, he's winning at life. After the Canelo fight, right? In the live that I did, go to the end, and I literally predicted this. If I'm Caleb Plant, I just made upwards of $10 million and I have a hot wife. I am busting carefree nuts all weekend. I can afford to have kids. You know, made $10 million, bro. I could bust a couple of nuts in there. And he did that. And I'm proud of him. Like, man, fuck the bullshit. He's winning, bro. Go ahead, Caleb. You cool with me, bro. Fuck the haters, Don't let Anthony Durrell beat you, though, because that'd be embarrassing. That dude went
he wins that fight.
Bro, that dude went through the gears with Avni Yildirim, bro. Through the gears. And people got the nerve to say the dog. What dog, fam? What
I'm calling it now. That's Berlanga's comeback fight. I'm calling it now.
Bro.
The Yildirim.
Everybody had an easier time with Yildirim than Anthony Durrell. Eubank knocked him smooth out, and he was unbeaten at the time. Canelo did whatever he wanted to do with him, but Durrell is the only dude that really had to fight him. He just got knocked out the other day, too, in another country.
Oh, Yildirim?
What?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even know that.
Like, yo, he was just fighting and he got knocked out in another country.
And they pay him for that Canelo fight?
Oh,
who knows, bro?
$500K?
I mean, it's Canelo, so he had to get something, right?
That's what I'm thinking. 500. I hope they didn't. Yo, fucking Tuna only got paid $100K. That is crazy.
That's
crazy how that works.
To get dropped like that 3 times too for $100,000.
But then Ryan making $2 million. They only paid him $100K.
Isan says that Plant should be fed to Demetrius Andrade. I agree with that. I think Andre beats him.
I think so.
I think Andre beats him. I do. I
don't know if I'm trying to think of a top guy I'd pick Caleb to beat because I don't think he. Even when he was super middleweights, I didn't think him against Caleb Smith.
If you want to call Charlo a top guy, I guess.
I mean, I think Ryder would be too physically strong and imposing for him. He's too busy a puncher. John Ryder. I think Ryder stands a good chance against Plant.
I don't rate Ryder that highly, to be honest with you.
I would take Ryder.
No, but listen, it's not that I rate Ryder highly. It's that I don't rate Caleb highly. Somebody needs to know that.
I would take Ryder. He's
your girlfriend yelling at y'all.
Not me. I'm single.
Oh, it's my mom in my background. Sorry.
I dig it.
Nah, I think Ryder is way too aggressive and physical for Plant. You've seen that Callum fight, even the Jacobs fight. He was in Danny's ass. No homo. But he was, he was on him. And with Caleb, you see Caleb's gas tank is iffy, and you see even Uskadegi touched him up bad. Caleb Truax was getting in him bad. I'm like, bro, Ryder, if anything, he's an aggressive motherfucker, and he will throw many, many punches. And if he got to Callum all night, he damn sure is gonna get to Caleb all night.
I agree. I like Ryder and have liked him since the Caleb Smith fight when he got robbed. But Caleb's just not that good. That's why I have Ryder.
He's not that good. But listen, he's not that. Like I said, that Saunders is, and I've been saying it. Saunders is better than Plant, and it's to me, it's not close. Saunders' issue isn't talent. He's always had talent. His issue is discipline. But boxing wise, Saunders is better than Plant, bro. Saunders been beat John Ryder years ago. He took John Ryder's bro. He took that shit.
I think Billy did better in those 5 or 7 rounds with Canelo than Plant did the whole fight.
Look at where they fought.
And they both got stopped. They both got stopped. So you can't say, Plant did better. No, they both got stopped. Billy's issue is that he made the stupid mistake of continuing to lean down into uppercuts. I don't know why he did that, but it's whatever. But I think if you look at, he was actually touching Canelo, but I'm not saying he was winning or anything.
No, and the fight was in the center of the ring, which is what stood out to me, that with Caleb, his back was on the ropes most of the fight. With Billy, he would shift to keep it in the center of the ring. Like, no, motherfucker.
Because he's better than Caleb. That's why. Because he's better. I really think Billy's a much better player. Like Marcos, I remember Marcos Villegas on Twitter saying, "Come on, man, Plant is much better than Billy." Because of what? Because he's American.
Because of what?
Because he's American. That must be
he said that shit with so much conviction. I remember. I'm like, on what planet is Caleb? Listen, Billy beat unbeaten John Ryder, unbeaten Chris Eubank, took the belt from Andy Lee. The fuck are y'all talking about?
He beat Korobov. Didn't he beat Korobov too? No, he
didn't beat Korobov. Lemieux. The bookies had Lemieux knocking out Saunders. Who went in there and put on a career best performance in that fight? Billy motherfucking Joe Saunders, bro. The fuck is y'all talking about?
That shit is much better than Caleb Truax, who's old as fuck.
And Mike Lee, the Subway guy. I've been saying Billy is a better boxer.
Fagan boots, bro.
Farfendugan, bro. Billy is a way better. I'm on guard. Billy is a way better boxer than Caleb Plant. It's not even close.
The only division champion.
Listen, the only thing that Caleb has on Billy is he could pull joints because he got the John B vibe. Like, I'm country boy.
And he's more dedicated.
I just want to beat your pussy. He don't say pussy. He say pussy with an A. Pussy.
He got that fucking country boy.
Honestly, when the Canelo was clearing out middleweight or super middle, I knew Billy would probably be his hardest one. But I knew he was gonna win. I'm just saying, like, Billy was the toughest one.
No, he's tricky. Billy is tricky. I always thought, even with Golovkin in like 2014, I thought Billy would have got stopped. But I said early he'll give Golovkin a little trouble for 2 or 3 rounds because he's a tricky guy. But eventually he'll get figured out. And he doesn't have a good gas tank either. And
there go Ricky towing the PBC line. I don't know why he comes here. He's saying this cap. He's saying cap.
He just sucked.
How?
Sucking, bro.
I don't even know what's cap about that. Like think his best win is Jose Uzcategui, who beat no one.
Well, he said, "I'm not comparing the resumes. I'm stating that you."
Bro, you don't listen, Ricky. Ricky, You think I haven't noticed the predictions and the things that you say in the comments because I choose not to argue with you, bro? You don't know shit about boxing. Like, I've seen all the shit, and every time you get it wrong, and because I'm not petty, I don't pay you no mind. But you don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. I'm just being real. Like, he say a lot of shit. If you see Ricky in the comments, he be saying mad shit that don't happen at all. It be the exact opposite. It's like, fam, like, come on now. What the fuck does Plant do better than Billy Joe Saunders? What?
Yeah, gas out and get hit more. He literally gets hit more. He literally gets hit more than Billy. Look who he fights. He put it this way. He fights worse opposition, gets hit more, and looks worse. Now, don't get me wrong. Billy, he's had his bad performances, especially at 68. That Murray fight, he wasn't looking too good to me.
But Murray ain't no bitch. But Murray, listen, Martin Murray is better than Mike Lee.
Yep, exactly. I was just about to say that. He is better than He probably better than everybody Plant has fought there so far. And
Martin Murray is better than Mike Lee. He's better than Vincent Farfendugan. All right.
And not to mention Murray. Don't forget, Martin Murray was the first. He made it to round 11 versus a prime Golovkin.
All right.
Golovkin. He made it to round 11, and that was some shit.
All right. Fucking look, Billy Joe Saunders. As soon as he decided, okay, I need to wrap this up, he fucking knocked out Coceres. The same Coceres that went the distance with Berlanga, right? That knocked down Berlanga. As soon as Billy decided, okay, I gotta stop playing around. Mop out of here. All right. Billy Joe Saunders, you motherfuckers. All right.
Yo, it's just crazy to me that people, and it's not hard to tell. People really will judge fighters and their skill level, not based off what they've done in the ring, not what they've accomplished, not who they look good against, because that matters who you look good against. They will literally judge them off of what flag they represent, and that's stupid to me. It's
but these is the guys. These is the guys that want to argue boxing. They're arguing box. Like you can't see that. If you can't see that Billy is better than Caleb, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because it's plain as day to me. Like he feints better, moves better, his feet are better, he shifts. That's why.
And he's a southpaw.
He wasn't getting pushed around the ropes. Like Caleb was getting pushed around. All right. Billy was holding the center of the ring like no motherfucker.
And again, Billy didn't get knocked. He didn't get knocked out like Plant did. He had a face injury. Bro, you know what combination that was really fucking getting Canelo a lot was that hook that was that straight left to the body or like a little uppercut to the body. Then he come over with another uppercut overhand over the top, and it kept landing. And I'm like, damn, that's Billy did better than I thought he would do.
These dudes, like, let me say this, right? These dudes really think that you can interpret boxing in the absence of a resume when no, you fucking can't. All right. Why? Josh Kelly looked great versus no hopers and scrubs. The second they stepped him up, look what happened. All right. You gonna look great with the Mike Lees and Farfendugans of the world. You gonna look good with them guys, bro. So yeah, you said, well, look, look at who he fighting, my guy. Billy out here with the John Ryders and the Andy Lees and the Chris Eubanks and the David Lemiaus and the motherfucking Martin Cocereses, all right? It's not the same.
Not the same.
It's not. Billy's resume has much more substance to it. He's beaten more champions. Look, guys that were champions. And it's like, bro, Plant, he just never looked good, bro. He never looked good. If he
the only fight where he looked good is against a dude that literally, like, Uskateki didn't beat nobody, fam.
He got a vacant belt.
And he only
beat nobody.
Caleb only looked good for the first 9 rounds of that fight anyway. Like, as soon as pressure was put on him, he started wilting the way he was.
Exactly.
That shit. Nobody actually thought Plant was gonna beat Canelo. Nobody actually thought that. People
this the other thing.
Because of
Billy didn't hit the deck. Billy didn't hit the deck with Canelo. Well, you know what that tells me? That Billy's more durable than Caleb. Caleb hit the deck 2 times. Billy didn't hit the deck once. His eye broke.
He's never been dropped, right?
Never.
No.
Exactly.
Never been dropped.
I've seen Billy buzzed one time versus a random, but it was early in his career, and that was it. Plant, bro, I've seen you buzz multiple times. I've seen your face look like somebody hit you with a fucking knife cutter right all over it.
This is the goof. And let me read the super chat. Never forget that Caleb turned his back and ran from Canelo. Mateo Tapia would do the same thing. Exact, like, bro. And Ricky, like, I don't understand this Ricky person, because it's like what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna end up doing? I'm gonna show y'all all the silly shit that he leaves in the comments to get, so y'all get an idea. Like, yo, fam, why do you be saying all this shit? Are you trolling? You don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You're gonna be there forever, Jules. He has a lot.
It's a lot. Like, it's and he wrote
paragraphs.
And none of that shit happened. None of it. Now you talking up, and this is the thing. Ricky is a PBC guy. That's why he do that shit. Like, bro, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, Ricky. I'm sorry, bro. I appreciate the viewership, but you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like Alfred Young says, any reason why Benavidez won't push for the ordered fight with Canelo? Hope to get on the next live panel. Well, I imagine that they're going to push for it after the Morrell fight, because when I asked Sampson what's next for David, he said Morrell in the fall. So if he wins that fight, I expect that they're going to hit the gas for the Canelo fight. That's what I'm expecting.
I'm surprised that fight's happening, because when you think about it from a PBC, how they operate in their point of view, that fight makes absolutely zero fucking sense. But hey, credit to them. I want the fight. I ain't saying that I don't want it to happen, but I'm just surprised.
It makes sense like this, Eson. If you gonna beat a guy like Morrell, you need to get him now, because when he gets more experience, he's gonna be 2 times as dangerous.
He can box and fucking. He's a big kid that can move and punch. He literally might be everything David does not want, and he might. I don't know who wins that. I really haven't put much thought into it, because it's a PBC fight, and I want to
experience has to go to David. Yes. I don't think David's resume is great, you understand, but the Ronald Gavril fight showed that he's tough, because he really had to go through it with Gavril, even though it's Gavril. But I mean, really, what are we comparing Gavril to?
Exactly.
Mario Cazares.
Exactly. You know, it's like if you were to give. If let's say if Morrell and David had the exact same experience in the pros, I go Morrell. But because of the difference because he has the amateur pedigree, that's the difference. He has the amateur pedigree.
How is David only ranked in one of the divisions?
Take that shit off the screen. That ain't happening.
Because they don't want to pay. I mean, like, if you see that David is only ranked by the WBC, right? It's because they don't want to pay for their other ranks. It's that simple.
Take this off the screen, bro. Thurman is pussy.
Well, Thurman don't want to fucking
pussy, bro.
Thurman don't want to sneeze in fucking Jared Ennis' direction, bro. He might get.
He doesn't want to look at me. He doesn't want to look at that guy.
I can't believe it's still people running around bigging this dude up. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck wrong with a lot of people, bro.
Gerard Ennis?
Nah.
No, Thurman.
Oh, Thurman.
Bro, Thurman hasn't been more than a name in the past, what?
Thurman Lara's next. That's the fight that's going to happen.
Bro, come on, fam. Like, really? Come on, like.
That's what they said. It makes
because Lara's at middleweight, bro, and he in line for the title. They just said that shit. That if Golovkin, whatever happens with Golovkin after Canelo, he got to fight Lara, bro. So he not coming back to 54 for this guy. I don't think.
Oh, you know what?
I hope Lara takes a tune-up and gets knocked out, bro. Wouldn't that be great?
That'll be beautiful.
Fuck Lara.
Conor Ben and Thurman isn't a bad fight, actually.
That's a great fight, to be real, but because Thurman's a piece of shit. Because this is why I say Thurman a piece of shit. Thurman is a piece of shit because if he focus up and try to get some Conor Ben money, he'll fuck around win the fight. Conor is not experienced enough yet, so he can fuck around and win that fight.
If Conor beats Eubank and then goes back down to 47, do you know how much fucking bread he can get for going over there? And he could win. He could win.
Listen, I said that on the other side of the Eubank fight for Ben is superstardom, bro. The land of milk and honey. Because he don't need a belt. If he beat that dude, right, he not going to need a belt to sell in the UK. They just going to fuck with him anyway without a belt because he's unique in that aspect that he has drawing power even though he ain't got a belt.
Yeah, bro. When Eubank and Ben Sr., they had the whole WBO, how WBO was viewed back then. But it didn't matter because, bro, they had names. They were the UK guys. If Conor Ben beats Eubank, bro, Matthew was gonna have not the next AJ because AJ is a heavyweight and all this is on the third, but they're gonna have a fucking cash cow of the division, and it's gonna be just like you see at heavyweight. The guys aren't gonna want to go over there to face the cash cow.
Bro, this dude's still arguing about Plant and fucking Saunders. Like, bro, if you can't tell that Saunders is a better boxer, just watch bare knuckle.
He don't want to know. He don't want to accept it, bro. You know what it is.
Yeah, just watch bare knuckle boxing, bro, because you don't know how to interpret technique.
Tell him to go watch UFC, bro.
That shit is silly to me. How you going? He looked better in what fight and against who, fam? Mike Lee? Who, fam? Who, fam?
Who's a Caleb Plant fan, man? For real.
The dude named Pretty Ricky, bro.
Hey, I got a theory on that though. What? There's a reason why Pretty Ricky hyping him up. So you know why, Jules.
I know why.
You know why? Because Plant, he's a different type of dude.
He wants to get in those fraternity pictures with Plant.
Now have you seen he's a slick white guy. Like a Cooper Cup, has deceptive speed.
But let me say this. A lot of that is just American subculture because there have been slick, Caucasian boxers. There have been.
Paul Spadafora.
Paul Spadafora, but before that, Willie Pep.
Pepiano, yeah.
Willie Pep, motherfucking Argentinians really aren't. Argentinians have Latino. They have Latino in them. They have Italian.
Calzaghe.
Nicolino Lorce, bro. Like,
Calzaghe was a slick motherfucker.
He was quick too. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, I was watching a video of when he was training in New York. Bro, that motherfucker was really. Damn, he's so underrated. It's crazy.
He want him to be the color me bad of boxing.
Yeah,
I want to box you up.
But that's what I was trying to say. I don't want to say it. I'm gonna let you say it, but
no, I can say it because I'm gonna talk my shit. But he really want him to be the man, get out of here with that.
Because was he on that same hype with like Kelly Pavlik? I don't think so.
But you know what this shit is? Kelly Pavlik was your run of the mill tough white dude, bro. And yes, tough white dudes out there that they fight, bro. They get it on.
From the coal mines, wasn't he?
That was Marshall Mathers, Kelly Mathers.
Kelly Mathers. I fucks with him. Like I fuck with Kelly how I fuck with Joe. Like, man, fuck all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck all this bullshit. I'm here to fuck you up, bro. Like, I ain't here for this bullshit. Like,
hey, Kelly Pavlik, I'm here to drink some beers and F some B's, and I don't see there's no more beer left. Or what do you say? Fight. You know the saying.
Yeah. He did like a shit that's like the Roddy Piper shit. You know what I mean? I'm here to bubble gum and kick ass, and
I gotta fight for you, bro. I gotta fight for you, Julius. Would you actually take Caleb Plant over Chris Eubank Jr.?
I wouldn't take Caleb over nobody, fam.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Thank you. I really don't think it's like
no. I take him over Charlo. I'll say that.
Okay, yeah, actually. Yeah.
Nah, Charlo could win a no. Charlo could win a dodgy decision because Caleb lets it be close enough.
Yep.
Actually, I don't give nothing to Charlo. I hate that piece of shit, bro. I'm telling you.
I hate Charlo too, bro. But let me tell you something. Korobov won that fucking fight, bro.
Fuck yeah.
He throw more punches than Caleb.
Yeah. No, that is true. You know what Caleb would do? Caleb has the style for it. But what he would do is be flashy, move around too much.
Listen, Caleb, I'm gonna be real about Caleb. Caleb is a C+ pure boxer. Charlo is a B- to a solid B boxer puncher. Because of that, you gonna let it be close enough that they could take it from you. Now, if you on a level, then you win the fight to where he's a B+ and you a B+. Then you win the fight. But Caleb won't do enough punches.
If he had volume, he would rinse him if he had volume. And they really did rob Korobov, bro. Korobov was coming off fucking inactivity.
No, he had a fight. But it was at 68. And he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight on the undercard, but then Monroe got popped for banned substances, so Korobov took the fight.
And then he fucking won.
Basics. Motherfucking Dirty Red says, I got Morrell regardless of the experience. Willie Lynch says, hey, Julius, what's your take on Crawford wanting boots after the line? I'm about to upload that after this live is over because I already did the segment on that. So just look out for that. And
great. That's great. I was actually gonna ask you about that, but I figured it was gonna come. Now I'll wait. But bro,
yeah, I'm gonna upload that after this. But what I'm gonna say is Caleb don't beat nobody, bro. He don't beat David Morrell. I don't think he's durable enough for David Benavidez. That's always been my question. Is he durable enough? and I don't think he is. He doesn't throw enough, doesn't hit hard enough. I don't think he beats Eubank at 68. I don't think he beats Billy at 68. I think John Ryder would give him fits at 68. A real good pure boxer whose technique is immaculate, even though he's boring, is Larone Richards. He's the kind of fighter that Caleb tries to be. That he's like, yeah, he a pure boxer. He's economic, but he's so smooth with it. You won't win a round, bro. You won't win a round. He took Carlos Gongora to school, bro. That kid is nice. I hear accent. I hear accent, like a Russian accent.
This
kid talking about.
Dang.
I don't give Plant good odds versus anybody that can stay on him with some volume. I don't really think he beats anybody that can do that.
He sucks, bro. He fucking sucks, bro.
Judas, be careful, man. You're talking too much about the PBC. Al Heyman is behind your ass, bro. Be careful.
He probably poisoned my coffee, bro. But Caleb Plant,
listen, bro, he might be out for me one of these days. I've been talking a lot of shit on Twitter the past few days, bro.
Listen, Caleb Plant sucks, bro. Like he's a good, like he dressed okay, and he got a pretty wife, and he made money, so he's a winner at life.
True.
But like, nah, he sucks, bro. He don't beat nobody at 68. Who? Tell me someone you think that he would beat that is good.
Nobody. He don't beat Callum Smith, bro. Even if Callum was at 68, he don't beat him.
I don't think he beats Callum because the style and it would take for them to be in the ring for you to see it, that because Caleb's best punches are straight punches, right? Oh. And he's very long. He's a very tall, rangy guy. He shoulder roll and all. He'll be landing that shit on Caleb on the top of his head.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna take on Darrell. What is Darrell still doing up there?
Bro, I don't know.
Nakatani style.
Darrell's a retread, right?
Where's Callum Smith? Where is he?
Bro, I just said that Darrell is the only dude that legitimately had to fight Avni. Everybody else beat the shit out of Avni. Canelo beat the shit out of Avni. Eubank beat the shit out of Avni. If you go to his box rec, he got knocked out a couple of weeks ago. Darrell, the only dude that really had to like fight him.
And where's Callum Smith? And that's David's best friend. Is he fighting or what?
Who?
Callum Smith.
Yeah, he's about to fight.
So that looks like a move. If Darrell can get a win, I would put Morrell. Looks like Plant and Darrell being moved for Morrell one of these days.
Morrell about to fight Benavidez. That's what David's promoter told me, that he's about to fight that Benavidez in the fall. That's what he told me.
Okay, finally some
Puerto Rican Mexican rivalry rejuvenated.
There's no rivalry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cuban. Well, close enough.
Either way, there's no rivalry anymore.
Dirty Red says Jermaine fights to the level of his competition. Motherfucking what I see is that the only guy who's fighting more than once a year, coincidentally, is the only guy who has the most potential to become a star. And he did look like a star fighting David Lemieux. That's David Benavidez. They're getting him back out there later on this year because he can sell, he can draw. And a Morrell fight, that is a great fight. And in a sense, it's smart because you don't want Morrell to get experience. He's dangerous now. And he doesn't even have 10 fights. He don't have a lot of fights. So if you're going to get him, you got to do the smart thing like what Charlo did to Lubin. Don't let him get experience. Take him out now. Don't let him become shit. Take him out now. You know what I mean? If you can get him now, take him out now.
Hey, bro, the body snatcher and Julian Jackson, he got him early.
Yep. He got John Jack. Yeah, John. You know what I'm saying? He was losing that fight. He didn't look good in that fight.
Bro, when he got clipped, he said, I need to take him out now.
But see, that's why Jermell has my respect, because if you look at his junior middleweight resume, it's not a lot that he hasn't seen. Lubin, Jackson, motherfucking Rosario, motherfucking Castaño. It's not a lot that he hasn't seen. Harrison 2 times. It's not a lot that he hasn't seen. I think he fought Rosado too at junior middle. One of them fought Rosado. They both fought Trout.
Nah, he did. He did
fight Rosado. Right? It's not a lot this dude hasn't seen at junior middle. Like he got a real for real resume, man. Like I want to hear that weak division shit. He got a real resume.
I mean, no, but you all listen, and I apply this to everybody. You can only fight who's there. Who do you want him to fight? You want him to fight Julian Jackson when he's not in his time? No, you got to fight. The point is, you beat who you can, establish yourself as the man, and you go down in history books.
Yeah.
Was probably because 154 isn't a super deep, rich division history wise. He's probably a top 5 guy of all time.
No, but he like legitimately, like as far as the history of the junior middleweight division, he's gonna go down as one of the best to ever do it. One of them. He's in that top 10 at least.
If he defends the titles, whether undisputed or not, he's still lineal, have 3 belts at least. He'll Tim Tszyu, Fundora, and let's say he fights Madrimov or whatever comes up. That dude, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. And as far as Smith, I heard somebody ask about Smith. He's fighting French Olympian Matthew Bauderlique. I think Callum is gonna stop Matthew. Matthew can box, doesn't take the best punch though, and I think he's gonna get stopped. I think he's gonna get stopped. That's for the WBC. That's a WBC eliminator, and I believe it's a final eliminator. The winner of the fight becomes the mandatory challenger for Artur Beterbiev's green belt.
Yo, the ball's on Callum, bro. The ball's on Callum, bro.
Fuck it, bro. Fuck
you
it.
Do what you gotta. No, but I fuck with it because that's Listen, even though I think he's gonna get smoked, I respect him because he's going for it. Look at David. David could have had
what
that
boxers should be doing. That's what boxers should be doing.
He make me proud to be from Liverpool, bro. Like,
Shut up.
Listen, speak a Scalzo accent.
Dog, David Benavidez was made number 1 as soon as he missed weight. That motherfucker said, I'm gonna stick to my keto diet. He said, I'm gonna stick to my keto diet and stay down here.
Motherfucking David Benavidez out here eating apples and drinking water so that he don't have to fight Beterbiev. Old scary ass shit.
He's eating orange peels, bro. Orange peels.
Motherfucker eating, drinking water with lemon in it, with a little bit of lemon. Like, man, you scary ass.
Warm water juice. Warm, not even cold. Warm.
Word. Like,
room temperature.
He shit easy, drinking warm water.
Yo, I would just to get away, just to not have to think about Beterbiev.
Motherfucker,
apple cider vinegar.
That's what I'm saying. That look, you got a little ass man in Canelo, right? This is not a big man at all, and he went up to 75. But your big 6'2" ass don't want to know. You don't want to go like you. So you rather squeeze into this mini skirt at motherfucking super middle, hoe ass shit.
It's stupid. He said mini skirt.
Some hoe ass shit, yo. Like, bro, you too goddamn big to still beat. You know that he was champion in 2017. That's how long he was a champion.
Bro, look how long ago Zerto moved up.
Bruh, Zerto got a whole new barber, a whole new trainer. He would have completely different, and you still at 68.
Yeah. Yo, I would have preferred to see Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yard before either of them got a title shot. I don't rate Yard.
Would love to see that could have happened, but Frank Warren had to fuck it up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Had opportunities.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
What Anthony Yard done for the past whole year?
He know that Yard, like, bro, you trying to get Yard killed.
He's cashing him out, bro.
Yard is not good. I don't think he's good, bro.
No.
He doesn't even try to be good. He's still with his trash ass trainer, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's still with Sunday and shit.
He doesn't know what he's bro.
Remember that time he told Dundee to shut up at the press conference?
Bro, it's gonna be a line at the goddamn hospital in October when they fight.
Do they still do no sparring?
Hospital Jews vet. He's gonna be at the vet.
That's not.
He's gonna be at the vet.
That's not talked about enough. He
does no sparring, bro.
An offer to fight Buatsi. That's a nice big little UK fight. And
it is.
Big UK
he turned it down to do what?
Look
to
at
wait for his fade. To wait for his fade, bro.
Yeah.
He waiting for Arthur to scalp him. Cause like, bro, you got knocked out by a jab from an old alcoholic Kovalev. What the fuck you think gonna happen to you when Arthur hits you with the Russia punch? The Russia hairy knuckle punch. His knuckles is hairier than Kovalev's, bro.
And Jules.
He's gonna perish the way as if like Thanos clicked his finger, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, he gonna punch Anthony and ain't gonna be nothing left in the ring but 2 braids. That's
might deflate his muscles, bro.
God damn it, Jules.
It's gonna be 2 braids in the ring in a pool of blood, like bloosh.
Wait, Jules, does he still do no sparring?
That's what I heard, bro. I heard he don't do sparring.
How can he not do sparring, bro?
Because Lions in the camp. Lions don't even spar.
Lions in the camp.
Gonna be a line in the goddamn hospital bed.
The main point of training is, bro, it's not even about the night, to be honest. It's like the preparation beforehand.
Bro, I mean, like that's what they said, so I take it at face value. Like, I'm like, he gotta be joking. You don't spar. You gotta be joking. But that's what Tunde says. So I'm like,
and he
hey,
doesn't,
bro.
And I don't like him because he doesn't take boxing seriously, bro. Because if he did, he would have made the adjustments.
Nah, he a model, bro. Like,
what's his style,
listen,
Jules?
the reason that he willing to sit out, right, for that duration of time is because he low key a model. So he get model money. Like, I don't gotta fight, motherfuckers. I'm gonna just put on these drawers and get this money. And I understand it, but I'm like, fam, you about to fight Artur better beef, though.
He couldn't be Kovalev, but he's gonna fight better beef, bro. He's going to die.
Bro, I told you.
What's
gonna hit him? He gonna hit him, sploosh, and it's gonna be 2 braids.
What's their plan? What's their plan getting into that fight? Well, okay. Let's think about it. Okay, you're Tunde Ajayi. Okay, you used. Apparently, I'm hearing that he doesn't even look at his opponents. They're just doing what they have to do. That's it. What they have to work on. They don't even look at their opponent. So how are you gonna know what style you're going in there, bro? If you're not even gonna do research on the flipping opponent.
That's and I hate when a situation leans too far in one direction, but there's no other way for me to look at it. Like, bro, you got beat by a balding old Sergey Kovalev who knocked you out with a jab. All right, he literally knocked you out with a jab.
You had to say balding, didn't you? Didn't you?
Look at Artur. He is hair. Artur is not a guy.
Bro, I don't trust the motherfucker.
That's a man.
It's like
that's
you
a
said.
grown-ass
You
man.
cannot walk around. You cannot
He's
walk around.
a silverback.
He's a silverback bear.
Bro,
Bro.
I'm just saying, Artur don't have hair on his head. He has a head on his hair because he's just hair, bro. He's like
you can't trust somebody that looks like that. You can't.
I told you, like his eyebrows is too close together. You can't be fighting people who eyebrows is too close together. They don't care about shit.
Yeah, it's like you said. You gotta be a maniac to go out like that.
Jules, like I was asking, what's his plan? Like how the style? How is he gonna get in there? Him doing that Mayweather fucking shoulder roll, that's not gonna help him.
Why does he still do that,
shoulder roll on Artur, bro?
He still do that shit.
Why does he do that? I don't get
it. Can you imagine trying to shoulder roll Artur, bro?
How does that help?
I don't know, bro.
The left hook. He's gonna go to sleep with the left hook.
Honest to God, I thought about it, Sawab, that like, okay, what's the fight gonna look like? We know that Artur likes to close the gap, double, triple up the jab, and we know that the way that Anthony Yarde likes to defend punches, he doesn't defend like this. He defends like this. So I'm like, bro, this whole shit right here, all of this
is open.
You getting all of that, bro? Because you not Mayweather. Let it go.
I know exactly
what he just did to Joe. He does the same thing.
I know exactly what he can do. He can bring in Rolly Romero, and he's going to the epic head movement with the jab just holding straight out there and not moving, and just that's how he's going to avoid the better be of punch.
Real shit, yo. If anything, yo, I'd pay $150 to see Rolly Romero get punched by Artur square in the face. I would pay to see that.
No, Danny Garcia.
That's even better. I didn't think that's even better.
Julius, it has to be Danny Garcia or Leo Santa Cruz. Or no, Danny Garcia or Chris Eubank.
How dare you disrespect future Hall of Famer Danny Garcia? How dare you?
Imagine.
But that's about it.
More like the Hall of Shame.
Luis Puente says Kovalev beat him with drunk boxing. Bro, Kovalev was probably in the locker room drinking Svedka before the fight. Fuck these Samatica.
What's this motherfucker Kovalev? Didn't he get a DUI in his training camp or something?
Yeah, he did. No, he did. Yeah, and he drove his car off a cliff.
With Yarde, right? Was it Yarde?
That was before Yarde. Then he said he found God, and that was bullshit. But
Alvarez, right? Alvarez?
It was in between the Ward fight and the Alvarez fight. It was in between
Yep. It was going into Alvarez because that's the fight where he had super gassed out. Because
he had like a Russian Rocky movie. He said that he drove his car off a cliff. He was drinking a lot, and he ended up in a momonastery, and he found God, and just a bunch of man, shut the fuck up.
Wait. So Kovalev got drunk and flipped his car. How come? Yeah. Where's my 30 for 30 special about what a hero he is, like with Spence?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I've been saying, like, yo, Kovalev, and I said this, don't believe me, just look it up. Kovalev and Spence have more in common than people think. They have more in common than people think. They're both
drunk drivers, bro. I don't respect that shit.
Yeah. Telly Tell say, forget horsehair, better beef glove. Yo, better beef gloves. Literally, it's Artur in the glove. They tuck them in there. When you put the shit on, tape it on, and it's Artur in there doing all the punches, bro. Have any of you ever seen a boxer at any weight moonwalk behind a security guard like Jermel the Cowardly Lion did, asking for, yo, I'm saying, and that's real shit that really happened, and people really like to ignore, like, yo, he really did run behind a security guard. He really did that.
Well, when Danny pressed him, when was this?
When David pressed him at a fight. David gonna beat us. This was this year.
Yeah.
He pressed him at a fight, and you see Charlo go around the dude. It's like,
oh my god, he's so pussy. I hate. Oh my god,
I'm like, yo. But what? And I said this. What kind of man in his early 30s is still putting peroxide in his hair? If you in your 20s and you on your, I don't know, your Florida shit or whatever, your California, whatever, bro. Because different strokes for different folks. But if you in your 30s doing that shit, remember how you got to get it on. You got to have your head over the sink, or you got to put the Kool-Aid packets on. It's
with one of your leg in the air.
Yeah, like it's here.
Man, you're 34 years old. Crazy.
Yo, who are they gonna give Loma in October? Who do you guys
Probably
think?
Nicotila. Probably Nicotila.
That's the fight. There's no because he just stopped Burchell. No, he just stopped Burchell. That's a nice little ESPN fight.
It's alright.
Nicotila could punch though. Shakur said it. Nicotila could punch.
And then that's gonna cause Shakur and Loma comparisons instantly. And that's gonna go build it. And you know that's the fight Top Rank at the end wants.
Exactly. And that's gonna be the fight that makes Shakur the greatest boxer in New Jersey. Like he gonna win.
Is he ready for Loma? He's ready for Loma. Does he win?
I think he's honest to God. Look, Shakur, that's a for real, like a real for real blue chip. Like, bro, like this dude, like I don't see nobody at 30. I don't see, and I'm talking about 35 too. I don't think Haney's better than Shakur. And
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's better than Shakur.
I actually I have Shakur stopping him. No bullshit.
Shakur got more dog in him than Haney. Like Haney's technique is great, but Shakur, it's levels to the shit. And
southpaw angle,
Shakur's a lot more aggressive. Shakur's a lot more aggressive, and he'll get in there. He'll get in there on you. Devin is gonna move around, not engage as much, but Shakur will go at you. He'll
come at you, bro. And I think that when
southpaw length too.
If it happens to where Shakur ends up beating Loma in a fashion that is dominant, whether it's a chess match or a shootout, right? Whatever it just ends up looking like, right? That's what's going to cause a lot of problems for both Gervonta and Ryan, because people going to be like, yo, this dude just beat Loma. You've been running from Loma for like 1,000 gazillion years. Ryan, they wouldn't let you park your car next to Loma, let alone fucking fight him. If he beats this dude and he make it look like whatever, man, yo, it's gonna be real fucking awkward. It's gonna be real awkward. Like, bro, why you not trying to fight him? You ain't fighting Ryan, right? Y'all just talking shit. All y'all doing is talking shit. Y'all not fighting. Y'all talking shit. Fight him. Ain't fight Haney. Ain't fight Loma. Don't want to fight. Man, you ass, bro. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Okay, so if the Ryan fight doesn't get made, do you guys see Teofimo getting made?
No, absolutely not.
Bro, even after the Pedro Campa fight, which is whatever. I don't know what that shit is.
Lopez is in line for fights that move the needle. Let's say he beat Campa. He could fight Zapata for the WBC. The winner of Zapata versus Ramirez for the WBC. He on the right side of the street for a Josh Taylor fight.
Unification with Josh. Dude, Josh, listen, if Josh, he better beat the fuck out of Catterall, bro, because after he does that, bro, Zapata Ramirez winner, and then you got Teofimo.
Cat, todo el mundo no habla mierda, ¿ok? Porque ellos están hablando mierda porque ellos saben que ellos no van a pelear este año ni el año que viene. Por eso es que ellos están hablando mierda, ¿ok? Eso es diferente. Es diferente si tú estás hablando de una pelea that you're going to actually have. Que cuando tú estás hablando de una pelea that you know you're not about to have, tú estás hablando mierda, pura mierda. Tú eres un bultero. Coño. And
even if that Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight happened, what does he prove?
Nothing.
What? Okay. What?
Oh,
what
that's what I was gonna say. No. You know, if Tank beats Ryan, he lives off of this for the next like 4 or 5 years without having to fight nobody else.
Bro,
Again,
he's
As
gonna
if
like
Ryan beat anybody, right?
he'll turn
as if
into
Ryan beat
he'll
nobody.
turn into like a deity in Baltimore. He'll like float over that shitty ass
They'll
city.
build him a statue.
Yeah, like
Build him a statue.
He beat the undisputed social
4 feet
media
tall
champion.
statue.
He beat the
Word,
social
right?
media champion.
They're gonna build a life-size statue of Tank that's this tall.
He beat the guy that fell to his knees crying in camp because he walked in the gym and started crying.
Bro, but I honestly, if they give Ryan a chance to develop, and they are, that favors Ryan.
Bro, 2 years. If they don't make that fight within 2 years, I'm confident Ryan wins. Bro, because listen, I'm not high on Ryan at all. Don't get me wrong, but the kid has some amateur pedigree. He does.
No, he's not a bad fighter.
No, he's not. He beat Devin. He beat Virgil. No, he's not shit. His problem is his dedication and his fucking social media worry. But if Ryan under Goose, because he looked fucking alright last time. I'm not gonna lie.
He reminds me of Ralph Macchio in Karate Kid because whenever he throws a punch, his hair moves and it's fucking awkward as shit, bro. His whole hair moves like, bro.
He's about to be on the David Lemieux shit with Golovkin.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like all his fucking hair moves. Like the whole, I'm like, yo, you.
And it's like I was listening to
was
listening to when Steve hopped on your space last night. Shout out to Kim. I was listening to the recording back, and I heard what he said about Tank being a old 26, 27, and I agree with that shit. Listen,
bro, we was just
I agree
about
with
that.
The doghouse shit, shit, all, and you know he's not living a clean lifestyle, all the drinking and everything.
Nah,
look
man,
at him in the ring.
He drinking liquor and shit. He drinking liquor like you could tell, bro. Like the bell tolls for him, bro. Somebody gonna get him, and it might be Ryan.
I'm a little higher on Ryan than you guys, but yeah, like I have him to beat Tank now because Ryan at least has the Luke Campbell fight, and Luke Campbell ain't no bitch.
Well, let's say this:
last 8 years.
Ryan has what you need to beat Gervonta, but the way to beat Gervonta is not to knock him out. It's to take it. It's two ways you got to approach that fight. The jab is pivotal because he's a little butterball. If you keep that jab in his face and you just pick when you throw it, he's not going to be able to get close to you to land nothing because he's a little butterball. Look at what Rolly jab did to him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the exact game plan Ryan Garcia has to go for. You know what I mean? Keep him, bro. You're the taller fighter, and I love talking about styles when it comes to the fighting, bro. It's amazing. Can Tank Davis get in there? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Watch. Tank is not the fighter that comes forward and stays off the line and does this. He doesn't do that.
Yeah,
he backpedals. He'll go backwards before he come forward to set up a trap. He go backwards. So if picture this, not only is Ryan taller and younger and fresher, but he's faster. He's literally faster. Like, fam, if he jab on the outside, ain't shit you could do, bro. Just keep the jab on him.
Don't forget this key point. Southpaw Orthodox.
That's true.
Is a key for Orthodox guy.
Yeah, all right. Now listen to me. Yes, I thought about the Southpaw Orthodox dynamic, but it don't work for Tank because you have to stay.
I'm saying Ryan's left hook will be detrimental to Tank.
That's all right. Let me say this. It only come into it if you can be close enough to get your lead foot and on the other guy's lead foot. Davis going to stay on the outside to stay out of the way of the jab. So you being a southpaw, it ain't even going to matter because you too far on the outside trying to stay away from the jab.
And also, it's not like his jab is exquisite anyways. He don't jab, bro.
No, he don't. He really don't.
And here's why this is why guys easily win rounds versus Tank. He don't throw punches, bro. He waits for rollies and Leos and cruises to throw a punch and capitalize. But it's like, bro, you don't jab. You can't. He literally can't win swing rounds.
Watch him. You don't see him doubling, tripling up on the jab. You don't see him doing none of that, bro. He just he sit back, he hang back, and wait for a mistake. That's a Gervonta Davis fight. That's what he
does have enough power for that, though.
I mean, but Isan.
It's not good though. It's not good, but like it works, I guess.
The reason why he can do that, just not throw punches and wait for the counters, he's got that Floyd Mayweather judge protection. So
That's
he's
true.
gonna win any fight that you could kind of
I think.
look at and say.
See, I can't agree with that because I think he knows who he's fighting, and he knows these guys are gonna make mistakes he can capitalize off of. Like, bro,
Yeah,
you
look-
think he's going?
yeah,
You
look
think he's
at-
going to a
exactly,
Rolly
like, look
Romero
at-
fight? Worry about what Rolly's doing?
Look at what we talking about. We talking about a dude in Leo that used to fight as low as 122. We're talking about a retard in Rolly. You know, Isaac might have blindsided you. Maybe you didn't know that he would be that durable. So okay,
I
you got
knew that.
blindsided by him. But Mario Barrios is landing punches on you. All I'm saying is Ryan is longer, no homo. He's longer and faster and pause. All right, pause. But he's long, pause, and fast. And you got to be way on the outside to get out of the way of that jab. You do, because it's quick. You don't get to counter it as easily as you get to counter Rolly because he's not as fast. It's different when you're dealing with a tall dude that actually has speed. And so long as Ryan is mindful of his jab and his distance, Javante don't get close enough to land nothing, bro. No, you're not.
I do see the improvements with Joe, but he still doesn't move his head enough for me, though.
Yeah, that he doesn't. I agree.
And that
He
scares
never
me.
will. No, he never
really,
will.
I hate Ryan, but I'd want him to win against Tank because I hate Tank.
You know, even if his chin is in the air, people are saying, "Oh, his chin is always in the air." Tank is fucking. He's like Joe says, he's a butter ball. He's all the way down there. His hands don't reach his chin.
He's a garden gnome, bro. Like life-size Tank statue for sale. Like, bro, come on, you can sit that shit on your coffee table. Javante Davis.
Since we're talking about styles, does Crawford come out southpaw against Spence? I can't. I'm thinking about it forever. I don't know how he's gonna start.
Might not.
Because he has to start fast.
No,
He
won't.
No, he'll come out orthodox. He'll come out orthodox because he wants to hit him with the left hook, and then he'll switch in the middle of the fight.
Yes, it's not. A lot of times, it's not about the stance; it's the switch. That's because now, let's say if Crawford comes out orthodox a couple rounds, and he's still countering that Spence jab and moving on him, then he starts. Then after let's say 3 or 4 rounds, he goes southpaw. Now he's going the other way, but now he knows all of Spence's angles down to a T. And again, Spence is a good basic fighter, so it's only going to take Crawford a good 2 rounds to really figure this guy out, in my opinion.
Yeah, like
so
I think because he wants to. I think because he wants to pivot. Like, remember, we're talking about the beginning of the fight. Like, I've thought about him coming out southpaw, and I've thought about him coming out orthodox. What happens if he comes out orthodox is for the check hook. And he wants to hit Errol with that check hook as he pivots.
That Gamboa check hook, right?
Yeah.
That Gamboa shit, that fucking
So he might come out. I mean, like, he could come out southpaw. He could just to take away Spence's jab. Or he could come out orthodox to hit him with the check hook a couple of times and then switch off. Like, all right, now, motherfucker, turn, hit the southpaw shit. So it's beautiful shit.
Listen, if Crawford decides to counter punch on his back foot and switch mid-rounds a couple times in between, bro, I don't see any way Spence wins this fight because it's not.
Crawford's gonna beat the shit.
We don't have knockout straight punches. What is it with Spence? It's a hook fest. Crawford takes away those hooks with that distance.
Yeah.
Spence is gonna walk forward, jabbing.
Spence,
he's not gonna hit anything, and he's gonna get countered over that jab and get stopped late.
Yeah,
Spence ain't shit, bro. He not shit, bro. Like, he's just a good boxer puncher. That what I see, he has the virtues of Spence. Decent jab, good work rate, good body attack if you can get close to the guy. But the people you fight, it is what it is. They not Crawford. And that's what it all boils down to. That's not Crawford. Crawford does a lot of shit that the guys you fought, they don't do none of that shit. And he still does all that shit. He did it at 35. He did it at 40. He's doing it here at 47. It's not just
it's worse at 47 because now he's punching like a fucking mule.
Bro,
he literally moved up and became a stronger puncher each fucking division, bro.
He hit Jeff Horn so hard he lifted the motherfucker.
Bro, I know that punch you're talking about.
And
the body one.
Yes, bro.
His feet, my God. All right, Terrence Crawford. God damn it.
Bro, oh my God.
I guess Spence the first 3 rounds, though.
I only want
Crawford gets hit early.
I only want this fight just because, bro, Crawford has the first undisputed welterweight champion.
2 times. 2 times.
And he'd be a 2-time. Bro,
he'll be Clarissa Shields, bro.
They can't deny him.
2-time undisputed.
And then
they will deny it.
And then let's say he fights Boots after 2, knocks him out. That's a test.
Listen, bro, I said this already, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't care about the fight. I'm already decided on the fight. It's Sunday that I'm waiting for.
Yes. Oh no, hell no, bro. Saturday night.
Wow, the
As soon as
fans,
that,
oh
bro.
my god.
Soon
All the
as
Earl
that
Dick fighters,
overhand,
bro.
soon
All
as
the
that
Earl Dick
over,
fighters.
soon as that overhand left hits him and he goes down, I'm tweeting like a bitch.
Oh,
Bro.
me too, dude. As soon as that happens, from Saturday to Sunday, just
Oh, yo, I'm
I
grabbing my
might
phone,
not
I'm
go to
slapping
sleep
the shit
that.
out of
I
it.
might not go to sleep that night, bro.
Yo,
Like,
bro, wait, remember the B-ball live? We were talking for hella long. It might be one of
bro,
those shits.
but it might be one of those of talking shit. Like I'm gonna pull up motherfuckers.
Fans ain't shit.
Fans ain't shit.
Fans ain't shit.
Crawford gonna make him
knock
quit.
it out.
Crawford
It's
gonna
either
make
eight-
him quit.
Round 8 or 9 is what I'm thinking. I'm giving Spence the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And then after that, Crawford will
Facts.
figure him out.
Facts.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
I agree.
what's going to happen in the beginning, and I know people might worry about this, but it happens. Crawford may look flustered in the first 2, figure him out in 3, start letting his hands go in 4, because Crawford doesn't start right away. He literally doesn't start right.
Gamboa, bro, it's gonna look like it's not the exact same, but Crawford was overwhelmed by Gamboa early. But you saw 4 rounds in, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And to me, Spence is a much easier style to figure out. The problem is he's so
because
aggressive.
he's fucking basic, bro.
No, yeah, exactly, bro. Once Crawford gets the 1-2 angle down from Errol and he takes away those hooks from distance control, and Errol don't move his fucking head either, he's gonna be a sitting duck for counters after 5 rounds, bro.
Spence gonna look like folded clothes. Like he gonna go down like the Twin Towers went down. Like he gonna go down like
Bro,
that.
you got the most wild analogies, bro.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that, bro.
I ain't mean like, but I mean like he going like
No, I know what you mean. But
I get it.
Your analogy
There's a reason.
He can't do that body shot shit.
He's not gonna be there. And another thing, when do you ever see Crawford tired at the end of a fight after moving?
Never.
He's in shape.
He don't even, bro. I heard that Terrence don't have like human lungs. I heard he got like fish gills. That's why he never tired. He is the shark. He is
smoke,
the beast.
He don't smoke. He don't drink. He stays in the gym, as he says, bro. He's an animal.
He's fucking animal, bro. Nebraska's finest, bro. He gonna beat the shit out of Spence. I'm gonna talk so much shit.
Oh, I can't
wait.
It's gonna
be the best.
Bro,
I don't think I'm going to sleep.
I just want him to get the belts, and I want to talk shit. That's literally it. I just want him to get the belts. That's it.
First person I want to talk to is homie Ricky, bro. Whenever that fight gets done,
Ricky gonna deactivate all his social media that day, bro.
He won't stick around.
Ricky not gonna come back. Ricky gonna stop watching boxing. He gonna go to UFC after that.
Bud had trouble with one leg Benavidez. Tell me how, Ricky.
Yeah, exactly. Like how, fam?
He won every round.
When Benavidez knocks out Danny Garcia, I'm gonna talk shit then too.
But I don't know. Listen, I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch that.
I don't care about that fight.
I don't care, but I am gonna watch it though. I ain't gonna front. I do.
Who's on the undercard?
I don't got a horse in a race, but I'm like, yeah, this is a decent fight. Like this is all right.
Who's on the Yo, this summer is dry for boxing. We just had some
Kovnowski, bro. Kovnowski versus Demirezin is on the undercard. Let's see if Kovnowski don't get knocked out again. If he get knocked out again, I'm gonna laugh.
Yo, this summer is so dry for boxing, man.
August gonna pick up, bro, because Joshua versus Usyk.
That's at the end. That's at the end of August, man.
That's true though.
I don't want to see fucking Jake Paul as the highlight of August, bro.
Bro, Jake
fake ass fight. That's a fake fight. I don't even give a fuck about
Do you believe it's fake?
That's shit not real, bro. I don't know.
You don't think that Rockman shit is real though?
They used to spar together, bro. They're probably friends. This shit.
You probably
last minute
bro.
replacement. I honestly think it's rigged. I don't know.
No. I'm like the way you said it. It's like like this is his man, bro. Like
they know each
bitches
other,
together. Like
they went out partying. He helped him with boxing, bro. And all of a sudden, Rockman said it, bro. All of a sudden, Jake was talking shit. This is fake beef, bro. They're friends.
Yeah, like they cool. Like he'll take a dive for Jake. He'll take a dive for the gram. And he said some shit though. They asked him about that. Like, was you going? Because people think it's not real. They think he might take a dive. And he did like a speech about like the legacy and the Rockman legacy. And I'm like, man, I don't.
Bro, for any dollar amount, bro, anybody would do.
Everybody got a price, bro. If Jake could give you $1 million, right? Why wouldn't you take a dive for $1 million, bro?
But honestly, he should win this fight. He's been in boxing his whole life. Jake just got into boxing a couple of years ago. There's no way. Like,
will you respect Jake if he knock out Hasim Rahman Jr.?
Will I respect him? This would be his first box, so this would make him 1-0 because this would be his first boxer that he's actually
against
fighting.
a 12, but against a dude that's 12-1, bro.
Yeah, so I would if it was real, let's say. And
where does he go on a pound for pound, Eson?
Number 3,
easily top 3.
He'd have to go behind Usyk probably.
That's
right above Crawford, behind Usyk.
Yeah, between Canelo and Usyk, bro, it's beautiful. I think he would have beat Maris Breedis though if they would have fought.
No, give him Opataya. That's an easier fight.
It is easier. Yeah, he'll win that fight, bro. That's how desperate Showtime is, though. They really selling that shit, though. For real,
bro. Opataya is gonna beat the hell out of Makabu if that happens, bro.
It's not gonna happen, bro. Because Don gonna fuck it up, bro. He gonna fuck it up. Don gonna try to do whatever he got to do to make sure Makabu still got that green belt, because Brian Trevor, he just got his ass beat. Like he already had a thin stable, bro. Shit. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap this one up. See y'all on the next one, and tune in later on today for the round table. I'm gonna be on there with
facts, yeah.
Michael Montero, D Styles, all the fellas, Maestro, everybody. All right.
What time?
Thanks for having us, Jules.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. All right.
East Coast?
What's
East
it called?
Coast time, yo. Rhode Island time, yo.
Put the link on your Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna put. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. So I'll holler at y'all.